good. Just getting everything set up here on the YouTube side. I know I wanted to be here before I get a little bit late to the party, but I hope that you're doing well, and I think that we're going to be getting a lot of basketball in this week.
I mean, it's the in-season tournament, and true to the FIFA World Cup knockout stage, one game, a single game elimination.
So here's the thing for me, and again, I'm going to get this all settled right now, get this recording started, and I'm looking at it, and I saw some of the things on the TNT pregame. I was getting some of the names and everything else together to get prepared. So Indianapolis is first in offense, but they're last in defense, huh? So it's going to be a track meet tonight.
With how fast the Pacers have been playing offensively, of course they've been playing true to their name. Pacers.
Yeah.
Pace the offense, pace the rest of the court. Everyone chase them all out. They've been testing opposing defenses no matter how good or bad they are. That's where they're at this position, 6 in the East.
And they have the best record so far in the in-season tournament. Again, whoever wins this one's going to move on to Vegas on that side of it. Again, we will have another quarterfinal for you tomorrow. I know Alec and I were talking about it a little bit. It's probably going to be the Phoenix Suns and the Lakers on that end. I'm looking forward to that one as well. But this Pacers team, admittedly, be the first time I see them this season. And I know we messaged back and forth a little bit, but Tyrese Halliburton shooting over 52%, 88% from the line, 27 points per game, 11 assists as well. He looks like the real deal.
Yeah, he's been putting up prime Chris Paul numbers, let's be honest. And he's been to talk about in the city of Indianapolis outside the Colts because he's been averaging close to 35 points per game in his last 5 games.
So right now, again, I'm not much of a gambling man, but I see that the spread's 4.5 between these two. Maybe that's because Kristaps Porzingis, not a serious injury, but he's not going to be playing today. He might miss a couple of weeks.
I heard he's getting reevaluated, and he's potentially returning as soon as this week as he continues to deal with a calf injury that he suffered last week. But he's going to be reevaluated this week to see if he's good to go for future games this week. Should the Celtics be in or out of the in-season tournament? So remember, these two teams, they're undefeated in their groups. Indiana won Group A 4-0. Oh, actually, Boston has one loss. I was confusing them with the Milwaukee Bucks in Group B. Boston was in Group C. They went 3-1, winning tiebreaker over Orlando and Brooklyn.
So do you want to take this first quarter and then we can split, or however you want to do it? I'm down.
Yeah, we'll split it. I'll take first and third. You take second and fourth.
Okay.
Right, so we get our starting fives out onto the court. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. For Boston, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, and Miles Turner for Indiana. So Indiana's wearing their blackout uniforms at home court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, formerly Bankers Life Fieldhouse, the old home of Paul George and Roy Hibbert. So you get underway on the opening tip-off, and Miles Turner wins it for the Pacers as we get underway with the first possession by Hallie. Halliburton guarded by Drew Holiday. He's moving over to the left. Hield racing to him, but instead the first to Turner, back for Hield. Hield steps up from the free throw line to first right back. Moving up on pace is Bruce Brown. Brown with the first shot, and that one misses. Rebound contested but grabbed by Brown. And a one-handed pass to JT. Tatum, one-on-one, is kicked out to Holiday as he moves around to the paint. Holiday reverse layup rolls out. So both teams missed their first buckets.
Again, they mentioned a little bit for Holiday. His numbers are down offensively, but he still brings some of the same defensive intensity per usual.
He has been reliable as a defensive anchor, whether it be Philadelphia, New Orleans, or Milwaukee, where he won a title with. Though Indiana, they are going to the line for the first time. Rick Carlisle and the Pacers 4-0 in group play. It's Bruce Brown at the free throw line. Won a championship with the Nuggets last year as he sinks the first free throw, and he has the first point of this game.
Yeah, championship, the former Piston. He's averaging 13 points per game for Rick Carlisle's squad. I think you got to be happy with that.
And sometimes he can come off the bench, or other times he's going on the starting lineup. They alternate between both of those back with Denver, where he won a ring, coming over from Brooklyn in his first year with Denver. To this day is the only year he has there. Tatum on the other side after Brown knocked down both free throws. Pass over to the former San Antonio Spurs, Derek White. White with 6. Inside pass for Tatum. Kaboom! What a slam from Jason Tatum.
My goodness, on that side, to get the athleticism, a little bit of everything, Jason Tatum is the real deal.
He has been the face of the Celtics franchise since 2020 after the Kyrie Irving saga that got him over to Brooklyn. Inside from Brown to Miles Turner. Turner hooks one it right inside. The longtime stalwart in Indy responds right back.
Yeah, very good defensive effort player is Miles Turner. You get those extra points, that's a bonus.
Jaylen Brown, did that take 3 bounces off the rim and go in? Or more, if you think of the Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater.
Hey, he's a lethal mid-range shooter there. He got the friendly roll.
Of course, the friendly roll, but nonetheless, Miles Turner, boy, he's been on a heater. Both on the defensive and the offensive end, he knocks out free right back. Tatum to the inside. Brown fakes. Back for White. Here's a free. And no answer there as it bounced off the near rim and stayed out. Halliburton now moves. Halliburton passes back for Toppin. Toppin moves around Holiday. Toppin to the rack. This one's knocked away. And Tatum brings it up the other side. Tatum steps up to the rack. And he misses, but it's fouled with 9:36 left in the first.
Well, we already talked about what we could possibly see here as far as pace, and the Boston Celtics are doing the same thing that Indiana wants to do. So put on your track shoes. This is going to be fun. Alec and I will be busy with the call.
Oh, track shoes. We talk about track meets. This looks like a track meet early on. An uncharacteristic miss on a free throw by Tatum on his first shot. Boy, this feels like we're watching, if we're talking about track and field, Noah Lyles or Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one. I know that Charles Barkley was mentioning this during the post-game, pre-game, all that stuff, and they're getting everything together. In the sense of Kristaps Porzingis, do you think Kristaps Porzingis, if he misses extended time, that the Celtics are still the same team? I know he's like the fourth leading scorer, but I think he's exactly what the Boston Celtics needed to possibly win a championship.
He is. Exactly. He fits the scheme, and he's really selling on comfortably as the third option instead of being the first option. Here's Holiday, and he double rims his three after Miles Turner missed on his three-pointer on the other side. Bruce Brown pulls up, fires up three. He knocks it down. And the Pacers are the first to double digits in the in-season tournament knockout stage.
Able to walk right into a three from the right wing side, that's got to feel good.
Of course. When talking about Bruce Brown and how he came over to Indiana after that championship, he's proving himself vital to this Pacers offense as Tatum floats one, rebounded by Halliburton after the miss. Left side, this is a three-pointer from long range. Rebound Horford after that one missed too. Holiday now. All reliable here, was an NBA champion with the Bucks. And was this pass missed? That did not hit one Pacer a single bit.
We had a really long three on the other side for Holiday and a bounce pass. That doesn't find anybody. Turnover there for the C's. It's 10-5 Pacers.
And as the Pacers miss on a free, here comes the Celtics, the best team in the East. Jaylen Brown throws it down with the outstretched right arm. Kaboom!
Alec, you got to be honest with ourselves and say Jaylen Brown's got to be one of the most athletic shooting guards in the league. He can kind of do it all.
He's a do-everything shooting guard. Of course, he got that big extension off-season. Miles Turner, he was wide open left wing, but couldn't hit it there. Celtics come right up. Oh, Jaylen Brown. Oh, I guess I have to backtrack on my earlier statement because it's going to raise eyebrows. I apologize for that for anyone listening to that. Halliburton on your side. Halliburton to the free throw line with one hand. Hooks it inside. There he is, John, the man of the hour in Indianapolis.
And he, as you said, looked like a franchise player. What a Euro scoop and floater. That is gorgeous.
Oh, gorgeous move. Perhaps a mix of Chris Paul and Monty.
Yeah.
We were talking about Euro steps. Tatum gets his own miss and misses on the second one. And everyone in Indianapolis is standing up here at the field house. Tatum's wondering what this call is about. He thinks that this is going to be a foul on Indiana. It is on Bruce Brown for a loose ball foul.
that's a tough call, but I'm glad you shouted out the crowd at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Again, Rick Carlisle said in the open he wants everybody to stand up and be into this and treat this like a playoff game. Certainly feels that way. I mean, Indianapolis is kind of like the mecca of basketball, especially on that side. Fans are really into it. They love this team, and I love the fact they still use Boom Baby as far as the Twitter side.
Oh, you have me thinking back to the Emperor's New Groove whenever I hear that catchphrase. Ha! Boom, baby, says Cusco. So Jaylen Brown knocks down the mid-range shot. Here's Miles Turner, and one. He lays it up.
Man, Miles Turner has been showcasing himself a little bit in this game, has he not, Alec? He's hit from three. He got an inside tough basket there. He blocked shots. I mean, he's pretty darn good.
He's been everywhere all over this court for Indiana. So I guess we're taking a TV timeout here with 6:48 in the first quarter. We don't know who called timeout. I believe it may be Joe Mazzulla's team, if we're being honest.
Can I just say this right now, Mr. Nava, on that side? The Indiana Pacers alternate unis look pretty clean. I like those.
Oh, those look amazingly nice, John.
So this is a pretty entertaining game so far. Again, 14-9. The Pacers have the lead with 6:48 left to go in the first. Again, my feed is probably about 12 seconds behind Alec, so I'll chime in when I can on that side. Sometimes it happens with the streaming. But this one's looking a lot of fun. And again, as I said, first time for me to look at the Indiana Pacers this season. It'll be good to cover the NBA in-season tournament throughout the week so I can kind of get some reps in and look at some of the rosters and how everything's constructed. But man, oh man, when you think about it in the Central Division on that side, I mean, a lot of people probably thought that the Indiana Pacers were going to be dead last on that end and be devoid of talent. Certainly doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't. Everyone was thinking that the Cavaliers would be getting at the second spot.
Right.
It doesn't feel that way either. It's the Pacers with their intense pace and their tenacity going up and down for the court. And their ferocious offense making up for the defense that they've been showing.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, for Rick Carlisle, he's been a coach in this league for a long time. Again, with the Pacers, the Pistons, the Mavs, not the Pacers on that side. And he's known to be cerebral, and he wants his offense done one way. But he gets somebody like Tyrese Halliburton, and he said, you know what? Pump the brakes. I'm going to listen to my point guard here, buy into what this team believes, and it's working right now.
It's more than just working with how electric they've been putting it up, whether it be Halliburton, Buddy Hield, or even reigning Rookie of the Year candidate Benedict Maverick from last year, if you remember that. Miles Turner still going up strong. And then you bring in Obi Toppin from the New York Knicks this offseason.
Yeah, when you bring in somebody like Obi Toppin, you just bring in pure athleticism, and again, you push that pace as we talked about.
Of course, we speak of electric offenses. There's another game that's coming up tonight. And that's the Sacramento Kings, where they hosted New Orleans Pelicans in Sacktown. And the Kings, they're still one of the more fun teams to watch of how electric their offense has been with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about interconnectivity with trades, you're thinking about Domantas Sabonis, the former Pacer, going to the Kings on that end. It worked out well for both teams.
It's a win-win trade every passing day. Sabonis usually is not a center, but he's listed as their starting center in Sacramento because they don't have a starting center on their roster.
Right.
Alex Len is a backup center in that regard. That they have no other choice but to put Sabonis at the 5 and Keegan Murray at the 4.
Yeah, that gives you a lot of shooting and a lot of playmaking ability. It's going to be small ball lineups that you see a lot in the NBA nowadays as coaches like to transition into new different types of offenses. And we'll see how that works out because I think the Sacramento Kings are another good team, but you know they want to make a playoff push.
Yeah, they took the Warriors to 7 games last year on that Game 6 victory by double digits. A rare feat to do so because the Warriors are one of the tougher teams to beat at their home court.
Yeah.
And for them to do so three times already? Wow. Here's Derek White going inside for Al Horford, who kicks it out for Sam Hauser, who's come onto the court for the first time, and immediately first shot, first triple for Sam Hauser at the right wing.
Another one of those bench pieces that the Celtics need to provide shooting. Good looking shot there.
Great look. That extra pass from all reliable Al Horford, who who's been used to this Celtics team, and a response right back by Indiana, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown is having himself a nice game right now. I get that right in Al Horford's face.
And right back, Jaylen Brown is called for charge.
TJ McConnell, again, I remember him from the Philadelphia 76ers. He's a hard-nosed player. He took that contact big time. That was a brunt.
Yeah, it was very visible, clear as day, that TJ McConnell, he got pushed right back. So that's a clear offensive foul on Jaylen Brown, who's the number 2 option here. Bruce Brown, right back. This goes inside for Maverick, and nearly wedging one. Gallo Banton the rebound as he takes this right up for the other side from right to left. Banton Euro steps and smokes the layup. McConnell the rebound. Here he comes on the other way. Give and go. And Aaron Smith, former Celtic, kicks it out from the left wing. Here's a free. Too far. Banton jumps up for this rebound. They get most of the second unit out there. Jason Tatum on the bench. They have Brown, the number 1 option for the moment. And this pass gets knocked away. Right on front is Obi Toppin. And a steal right back. Jaylen Brown picks up the loose ball as there's a collision over the right side of the court. Brown moves to the paint, fires away, and sinks it. Back and forth. Chaos ends with a Jaylen Brown bucket.
That's what happens when you get Jaylen Brown in transition, be able to fight his way through the contact, get the layup. Nice work there.
Fourth and second effort by Jaylen Brown. Get inside. Here he comes again. This time misses a tip. And this one knocked loose. Hauser picking up this rebound. Horford give and go right back for Hauser. White is double teamed. He breaks free from it. White to the rack. And he lays it up. Derek White showing off that smooth bucket.
Gets a chance to hit the floater there. That's pretty good work for Derek.
Dating back to his days in San Antonio when he was playing with DeMar DeRozan. McConnell inside. He's double teamed. The first for Toppin. Immediately the connection by Indiana to go kick, tag, kaboom.
So that's a good change of pace there, because on the other side for the Celtics, it was a Jaylen Brown experience, getting rebounds and going coast to coast, maybe try to get some inside baskets.
That's what Boston wants to do here with less than 4 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Hauser to the left side for White. Corner free left side. Double rim. And a rebound by McConnell as he takes his through the half-court line. McConnell stutter steps around White. Almost lost his footing, but defers to Maverick. Maverick watched by Hauser. Fights for a double team. Maverick on a layup. And his rebound grabbed by Horford. And his pass is stolen away by Bruce Brown as Horford stared down Benton. Brown defers for McConnell. McConnell is watched by Horford. He defers over to Maverick, who fires. This one well short. Back and forth, this defense goes left and right. Jaylen Brown takes it up for the right side. 3:10 left first quarter. On the right side is White. White kicks out for Hauser. Open free. Left wing side. Hauser connects. It's a tie game, 19-all.
Again, Celtics can also show you that they can play with the same pace. That's a great pass out of midair from Derek White to set it up.
And to make up for the bad pass from Al Horford as well, Bruce Brown tries to fake out Hauser. Hauser stays with him. Brown fires it. This one short. Nice defense from Sam Hauser. You stay with Bruce Brown the entire way. Brown with speed and transition. The layup. Timeout, Indiana. They actually used the first timeout, not Boston. And so they've already used up their first 2 timeouts.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown has definitely carried the Celtics right now, especially with Tatum and on the bench being able to get a little rest. I think Joe Mazzulla's got to like that. Again, as Alec said, 21-19. We get a timeout in the first with 2:34 left.
10 points already for the guy who just got a big extension, perhaps the largest one ever seen in the NBA. $295 is a risky move, but so far, it may be paying off.
And Alec, I'll just go ahead and say it like this. The way that it was set up as far as the rules, and by the time the Boston Celtics and Danny Ainge at the time when they drafted Tatum and Brown, you were going to be set for those super extensions, the super max type of deals. But I don't think the Boston Celtics had a choice. And honestly, when you look at Tatum and Brown, I mean, tell me, what other teams in the NBA wouldn't want those two on their team?
I mean, there's all throughout this time frame, and it feels like this has been coming up every year, but it feels like trade rumors have been popping up around star players like it's mosquitoes on a hot summer night. And mainly around Jaylen Brown, who people have been talking about in the trade speculation for endless years. And the Celtics, they said, we're tired of this. Let's lock him up.
Yeah, and again, I think that's the right thing, and I understand why that might be persistent because, again, look at the cap situation, and Boston could use it. I mean, unless you get a dream offer scenario, you're not trading somebody like Jaylen Brown.
You're not, unless you can get a good return if the Celtics' contention window is ending, which we don't imagine anytime soon as they're at the top of the East right now. But you got to invest in your big-time players. Say Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, now most recently, Kristaps Porzingis.
Right. You have to. And I think that was the right moves. Again, we can talk about, and I know people have already speculated as far as Ime Udoka or Joe Mazzulla, who's going to be the right guy for the job. And understandably, situations happen, and that's why Mazzulla is the coach now. But the only thing Boston cares about is winning that Larry O'Brien. That's all that's left with this core.
And perhaps going for that 18th Larry O'Brien trophy, which would put them on the league lead, breaking that two-way tie after the Lakers won it 3 years back in the bubble. And the Celtics, they want to win that 18th O'Brien trophy so badly. You see the hunger in their eyes and everything that's there for the taking. They had their chance in 2022. However, they fell short in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors, who won one last one for the dynasty, perhaps barring a turnaround this year.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it's going to be on that side. Boston, I think this core will get one, Alec. But as you said, the time's probably now within the next 2, 3, 4 seasons. If they don't get this done, with having guys like Brown and Tatum, who honestly maybe are generational talents, I think it'd be a disappointment in Beantown.
Yeah, it would be a disappointment if Boston doesn't get a championship with this current core, because they have a long window, a wide window right with them.
Yeah.
They have that with them, and it's still open and there for the taking. You come right back from Indiana's second timeout. Halliburton starts up this offense over to the left side, being handled by, I need to check this up one more time, but they do get the bucket. Their answer right back is Bandit Maverick. Took me a while to see who it was, but the sophomore guard gets it done. Right back, this goes to Hauser. Hauser being bullied, the first to Luke Cornett. Cornett setting some screens, and right back this goes for Drew Holiday. Holiday a free. Hey, sinks it off the screen from Luke Cornett, coming in like a hornet. And right back, TJ McConnell takes it up.
You always have the smooth transitions, Alec.
Smooth like butter, like the BTS song is. McConnell misses out as this went off the rim, and the Celtics go 3-on-4 on their next drive up towards the rack. Sam Hauser, another free. This one bounced off the rim. Turner the rebound, he immediately defers to Halliburton. Halliburton to left side for Maverick, and Maverick will stop and serve his options, and a foul called here.
So as it's almost underneath a minute in the first, it's 24-22. It's been a good first quarter for both of these squads. Again, we mentioned the pace of play. We've seen that from both sides, and I hope that this game continues to stay close throughout, because if we can keep this pace up, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get a chance to look at the camera shot. Kristaps Porzingis in the jean jacket.
He's watching his Celtics on from the sides, excited that he's on a team that's in good contention status. Miles Turner, after the first miss, he tries one for free. Too far there. This rebound tip and grabbed by Holiday. Holiday drives it up. Watched by Buddy Hield, who's back in place of TJ McConnell. Holiday to the rack. Almost intercepted, but Cornette grabbed a hold of it. Cornette on the layup. Misses. And the rebound by Halliburton. With 46 seconds remaining as Indiana goes to the other side. Hield drives up. Kicks out. Three-pointer. Short. And Jason Tatum's back. He grabs the rebound. Peyton Pritchard on the court for the first time tonight. He immediately fires a deep free. That's from Damian Lillard range, but Drew Holiday gets the offensive rebound. Holiday kicks out for Pritchard. Pritchard just walks around casually along with Logan and starts up 5 to shoot. Holiday taking his time with this ball, has one to shoot, gets it away, and doesn't come anywhere close to the rim. In fact, it's off the window and stayed out. Shot clock violation was 17.4.
I've seen some of these shots there for Peyton Pritchard, and again, I think he called that right. Damian Lillard type range. He just tries to walk into a three as he casually just steps over half court. What's that about?
I mean, this is what if you have when you have a confident shooter like Peyton Pritchard who can knock down threes from basically from behind the arc or anywhere deep. Halliburton steps up. Backboard Maverick at the logo. 5 seconds left. Maverick's going to start up. Maverick opposite Cornette. And nicely played by Cornette as he stayed with Maverick to force that miss as we come to the close of the first 12 minutes. Celtics lead 24-22.
So I know this is the obvious statement. Again, the first quarter was pretty excellent between both these teams, to be honest. I'm glad that we're doing this game. But I look at the Boston bench. And again, you have guys like Kristaps Porzingis not playing today, so you got to throw that into account. But it's Sam Hauser, Luke Cornette, Peyton Pritchard, Ariel Banton. You got Lamar Stevens, Brissett, Queta, and Svi Mikhailuk. I don't know if that's enough when they get into the second unit. I understand second units don't play that much on that end. But when you get into a critical playoff game and you need maybe 12 or 13-minute respite, are the Celtics bench, is that something that they're going to be looking at as far as the trade deadline?
Who knows? Because they already have Sam Hauser, who's been looking much improved through the seasons with Boston. Now he's getting reliable minutes for Joe Mazzulla's team. Peyton Pritchard is still a sharp-shooting three-point merchant there. Wherever he's at, from the corner or the wings or the top of the key, it doesn't matter. He's going to fire the freeze, and that's what he's specialized for. You have players that can play their role over in Boston. So outside of Cornette, who's getting more and more playing time with Boston, I don't know if the rest of them is enough.
That's my only look right now as I'm going through this right now. I'm covering this game with you. Admittedly, I'll have to go through a little bit more of this basketball, but when I'm watching the Boston Celtics, we know about the stars. I love the trade for Drew Holiday, honestly, on that end, because you're going to get more defense. You're going to bring in Kristaps Porzingis, who, as long as he stays healthy, that's always been the moniker, whether he's been on the Knicks or the Wizards. You know exactly what you can get from him. But that bench, I'm going to look at that and see what Boston can do on that end. For the Indiana Pacers, to me, Alec, right now, just into this first quarter, they look like a playoff team. And I imagine when you get into the regular season, get back into the regular games on that side, they all count the same. But they're going to be able to beat a lot of teams simply on pace alone. But that defensive side, what will Indiana do going forward the next couple of seasons to kind of correct that? Because first to 30th between offense and defense is quite shocking.
Yeah, that's a very big surprise. Because they've been breaking out offensively, but you see more for the defensive end. The Pacers have invested so much on offense, and it's paying off on that front. Well, you need to also account for defense, because in the playoffs, if you want to go for a deep run, you got to account for the defense as well.
Yeah.
Because championship teams, they win championships because they are one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Yeah, again, you hit it right on the head on that side, so we'll see what Indianapolis can do. Again, admittedly, if we're being completely honest with all of you, I didn't think we expected Indianapolis to be as good as they are, to be exactly where they are. But again, Tyrese Halliburton, all the numbers that Alec mentioned, he's been the sole reason kind of for a little bit of this turnaround to be as quick as it could be. And again, for Rick Carlisle, bring him in there. That brings respectability in the locker room, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Not only of Halliburton, but also Buddy Hield in that Domantas Sabonis trade. And Halliburton has been looking like a true point guard. Not only scoring in bunches, but also he's been dishing out dimes to his others.
So it's pretty cool to see. I've never been to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but I've actually been right near the building on that end. To see it completely full as it is, they're getting an interview with Jaylen Brown from Stephanie Reddy, and I'll take it to the second, and I'll flip back into the third. This is John Ott and Alec Nava between the play-by-play and color respectively, but we'll definitely be switching off again. The ESPN box a little bit ahead of what I can relay to you, but we'll just take this one step at a time. So Drew Holiday on the right wing side being guarded by Benedict Mathurin, inside of Tatum. A little bit of a half spin. He'll shoot this from 15, hit up the front of the rim. and this will be skied by Matherin and lead to Tyrese Halliburton. So 0 and 0, if that isn't confusing enough on that side toward the right wing. And this is picked up by Miles Turner off the step back, and this one is knocked down. Benedict Matherin from the right wing side off a step back and gives Indianapolis a 25-24 lead. This has been a back and forth type of game. Peyton Pritchard get the screen from Luke Cornett. No ball in here for Tatum. Another 0 on that side is Tatum. Cross-court pass, extra movement, as this is Banton. Send this back down here for Peyton Pritchard. Puts his head down, trying to get to the rim. He's got to step back instead. Rainbow 3. Cornett able to get the rebound knocked out of his hands. I think this is going to stay with the Celtics, however.
Yeah, it is going to stay with the Celtics as it goes out of bounds. But we talk about assists. We normally talk about Tyrese Halliburton dishing it out, but Miles Turner that time, it was him dishing it out. You normally would see it from Halliburton if you're speaking of the Pacers, of how he's been playing over there, but Turner still got it in him.
Yes, he does. Tatum got a wide open layup after the Holiday miss in the left wing. It was a good design out of bounds, and now Holiday pokes it away. Can the Celtics get off to the races? Rest from the timeline, gets himself and lays it in.
Of course, you talk about speed. That's what the Celtics possess when it comes to this, matching the Pacers on every turn. That's what makes the Celtics a dangerous team in the East. They have matched the Pacers. They matched the Pacers' speed.
Halliburton, Matherin will get this one across, and Miles Turner and Neesmith, my apologies, knocks this one down. The former Celtic ties the game at 28. Good ball movement for Rick Carlisle's squad, as this game's been ultimately entertaining. It's Banton now. He's got it at the Indy logo. This is toward the in-season tournament, so a little bit different here between the teal and the yellow striping right down the middle. Shot clock down to 5. Peyton Pritchard tried to put his head down. He's going to take a lofted release that bounces up in the air. Had no chance to make that one, and a foul's called.
I looked right back at the Holiday steal and score. It feels as if Indiana lost this as they were trying to spin around Holiday, and Holiday was not for a single bit fooled on the spinorama. He stayed with his man and poked it loose.
Yeah, loose ball foul. That's what they got at 9:53 against Neesmith. And Rick Carlisle looks on again. They always mention that he loves to fly planes. That's another thing that you can figure out about Rick Carlisle. He kind of does it all. They got a foul on the other end against Banton for a legal screen, so that's going to be a turnover the other way. And Indianapolis was just upset, and now they're happy.
Not the way they wanted to go, going right back for Boston. But Indiana, they went from upset to happy after the offensive foul by Banton on the illegal screen.
So 9:45 left to go in the second quarter. Joining her with you alongside Alec Nava. Here's some good ball movement again. Buddy Hield, extra touch pass had to get picked up there. As it's given back to Hield, tries to get down the lane. He actually scores over Tatum. That's a nice look. Peyton Pritchard, right wing side. He slows up, and he's going to get some signals, get the offense set up, but he's just going to leave it here for Tatum. Tatum's pretty good at controlling that. Tatum, half spin. He was losing his dribble. And are they going to call a carry against Tatum? He was falling down, but right now they say no.
Yeah, I don't think this basket's going to count. It's not a shooting foul by any means. He was looking at that much that this was going to be a shooting foul by any form, but it doesn't seem like it.
That was pretty acrobatic for Tatum nonetheless. It's Banton gets the trigger. He lobs it up for Cornett, who throws it down. I guess he's got some athleticism, Alec.
Oh, we talk about athleticism. That feels like Obi Toppin and style for Cornett going in to receive the alley and the tomahawk slam with one hand. A page out of Jaylen Brown's playbook for the first quarter.
So Turner misses. Tatum wide open right wing side. He misses up in front of them. Good hustle there for Miles. With the back down for Tyrese. We're looking to go left to right. And the alternate unis. Here's a long three-pointer. And my goodness, Buddy Hield with the range.
He's trying to flamethrower with that long three from the left wing. Coming over from Sacramento. Oh, I almost said San Francisco. But Sacramento is what I meant to say. On the Sabonis trade, he's looked as sharp as he can be.
That was from 27 feet. Holiday off the back down. Pritchard, step back, top of the key. He missed it off the front of the rim, but they steal it away from Turner. It's Banton. Here's another lob for Cornett. Well, Alec, again, as we go to commercial break here, we talked about how entertaining this game could be. And I think the second time you and I've covered a basketball game together, I've been thoroughly impressed what I've seen from these two Eastern Conference squads so far.
Here's we're not going to commercial break, though. But we're staying put here.
Thank,
Someone's trying to call timeout.
thank you for that. It was kind of a long replay, got me confused. 8 minutes left to go in the second. It's a 33-32 lead for the Pacers. They're at home. Again, the winner the semifinal goes to Vegas. Halliburton, long three. This is skied by Tatum. Tatum will look to push the pace, put his head down. He'll get a good screen from Cornette. Tatum, that's a wide open look. He usually hits those. Here's a lofted pass. They want another lob. Mathurin will settle it down, and he'll just lay it in as the Pacers go up by 3.
The very definition of tic-tac-toe. You find one open man and then another open man. And Mathurin was right there, Johnny on the spot, decided not to dunk it, settle for the safe option, and that was the right call from him.
Extra pass from Tatum, right wing side. Jrue Holiday, that is a silky layup as he euroed it toward the lane. 35-34, about 7:05 left to go. A good block by Cornette. He's given some good bench minutes, but this will stay with the Pacers.
Oh, he's not only dunking, but he's also swatting away easy layups from the Pacers. Was right on his pace, his face, and slowed down the pace on Indiana. He's just staying right with them and sticking to the guys that he's guarding to knock those layups away.
Yes, he is, Alec. And again, I think Luke Cornette's almost single-handedly turning away my question of whether or not the Celtics need more bench help.
Yeah, I was thinking Cornette as one of their reliable bench guys because he's getting more and more minutes for Joe Mazzulla's team. He's coaching this team nicely in his second year with them.
Yeah. It's going to be an opportunity now for some bench changes here as Bruce Brown will now enter. Brown has the basketball. As this is laid up, Cornette gets a piece of it. That'll be an opportunity now. Pritchard sends it across for Brown. Brown off the half spin, loses it. This is going to get picked up by Hauser. He misses the bunny off the layup. And now Halliburton has an opportunity to press. Here's a bounce pass. Mathurin gets blocked, I think, from Brown, as this is chaos. This is sent out Bruce, extra pass, and Cornette's right there to swallow it up. It's an opportunity now for Jaylen Brown. This will go right to left. Number 7 will slow it down here for Jrue Holiday. A little bit of fast-paced basketball, but not much happened as far as the offensive side. Just a lot of turnovers and blocks. Holiday will probe right wing side off the half spin. It's Brown. Accelerates, Euro step, stops, and lays it in. That is silky. Now Boston's got the lead, 36-35. 6:10 left to go in the second as the pass gets knocked away. 6:11 left to go in this middle frame in the second, and I believe now we're getting a timeout for the Pacers.
Now it is true. Well, it took us a long replay back at the 8-minute mark that we didn't know if it was a timeout or not. But now we finally get the timeout. But Jaylen Brown has been looking like the sharpest Celtic out there, knocking down the mid-range shots. And good analogy on the Kawhi Leonard analogy about mid-range, because that's what both of them specialize at.
Yeah, I think truly, Alec, again, some people can disagree with me on this. I know everybody can make a three. That's kind of how the NBA is dictated. But if you can be elite in the mid-range game, I think that puts you in a superstar category. It kind of feels like a lost art.
Yeah, it feels like it. We talk of superstars. Well, Jaylen Brown may be in that conversation. We know Jason Tatum is in that conversation. Up there with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic. You name any superstar in the NBA, you would not be wrong with Jason Tatum up there.
No, you wouldn't. And again, when you're thinking about that, I want to go back to this Celtics roster because we're covering this game. When I mentioned to you, let's say that they're all healthy, and between Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, Tatum, we agree, is a superstar. Jaylen Brown might be on the edge, teetering on that end. Jrue Holiday is more than just a role player, and Kristaps Porzingis is a good linchpin. I mean, to the Celtics, when they're all healthy, do they possibly have one of the best starting fives in the NBA? Would you say it's the best?
They're up there with one of the best starting fives in the league. Of course, they may have some competition in that regard with the Nuggets, with Nikola Jokic,
Sure.
Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, KCP, and you have the Bucks with reinvigorate their starting five with Damian Lillard on the lineup, Malik Beasley, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. I'll put these three as my top five, in my opinion.
I think I'm going to go right there with you 100%. There's going to be no disagreement with me on that side. The fact that you have those two in the East that you mentioned between Boston and Milwaukee, I think you and I would both be salivating at the possibility to cover a playoff series between those two. We know how it went before a couple of years ago on that side, but Boston wants to continue that, and Milwaukee wants to avenge any type of losses, especially if they get into another Game 7 situation, because that's why they brought in Damian Lillard.
Yeah, to replicate what happened in 2021 Game 7 against Brooklyn. Of course, if you remember that fiasco that happened, the whole question of whether Kevin Durant's foot was on the line,
Right.
exploded by just an inch inside the line, and the rest is history.
Again, I'm going to be interested to see tomorrow when we cover on that side between the Lakers and the Suns what's going to happen. I saw a game the other day with Kevin Durant. He still had about 30 points, but it took him about 26 shots to get it. He made his money at the free throw line in that game. I'm still waiting for the Suns to get completely healthy and kind of find out what they're going to be, but it's going to be an interesting matchup against the Lakers because you still got LeBron James going strong, and Anthony Davis continues to build momentum.
Yeah, whenever it's a LeBron James versus Kevin Durant matchup, you're almost guaranteed fireworks in this game. It's going to be basically instant classic territory. We had two of these types of games earlier on the year. The Lakers won them both in similar sorts of fashion. The Suns controlled the play for the first 3 quarters before the Lakers clamped down the Suns defensively in the fourth.
And we will see what awaits us on tomorrow on that. So it's going to be a little bit after about 10:15 Eastern on that, and it'll be the late semifinal, as it'll be the Knicks and the Bucks tomorrow. I think it will be the early game as Obi Toppin makes both, and the Indianapolis Pacers here have a 1-point lead. It's Holiday. He likes to work near that left side elbow. It's going to be a wide open chance for Sam Hauser, and he rainbows that thing in. He's not going to miss those.
Of course not. Joe Mazzulla's overseen his improvement through the years, and this is what he's shown up for. Hauser with big-time buckets off the bench.
Halliburton with a one-handed lob attempt, but going to be able to get that back up and clean up the inside mess and tie the game at 39. That's already the fourth lob we've seen. There's again Holiday at the right elbow, backing down. He's got the power. He tried to get this off the right side of the rim, a la Chauncey Billups, but this will stay with the Boston Celtics. I used to remember him do that a lot with Detroit, able to back the ball down and try to get some baskets. But we looked at Tyrese Halliburton there, cleans up the lob attempt and gets the points.
We speak of lobs, well, it's been all over this court. It feels like old school showdown basketball with those slam dunk attempts. Halliburton cleans up that rebound off the miss, and he sinks it right down on that layup.
Yeah, I like the energy from both of these teams. And speak of that, they tried to lob Al Horford off the inbound. I don't know if that was the right idea. Andrew Nemhard, who just enters, he will go ahead and go to the line to shoot 2. I think Jaylen Brown will pick up the foul.
Yeah, it is Nemhard drawing this foul on Jaylen Brown, who's basically been the best player on the Celtics. The only one with double-digit points, but already he's at foul trouble. That's his third.
Yikes on that side for Boston, because we talked about the pace for the Pacers here on that side. If they keep this up and they allow to get Jaylen Brown to pick up another one, he could be in absolute trouble. And again, Joe Mazzulla does the right thing, takes out Jaylen Brown. They cannot pick up a fourth here before the end of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely not. You want to sit him down for time being, to calm down his nerves as he's already halfway through fouling out. You want to have him calm down.
Derek White almost looks like Javon Carter. I remember him from the Milwaukee Bucks. He's completely gone on the top side as far as the hair. He's rocking the beard. And this could be an offensive foul here. We'll see what the call is. 5:05. We'll have to go in the second. It's going to go against Mathurin.
So it's the defensive foul, not an offensive.
So this will stay with the Boston Celtics and Triggerman. Sideline out of bounds will be Tatum. It'll be Horford now. Horford with the long pass almost gets intercepted. Pritchard had to think about it. And this will be left for White. Shot clock down to 5. Halliburton's right there, and White still hits the rim, but this will be cleaned up by Nembhard. And we get to Tyrese Halliburton as he crosses the line. Halliburton with a lofted pass. Some of these look like they might go out of bounds, and then they don't. Nembhard's going to go ahead and shoot the 3. Try to be bounced up a couple times in the air for Matherin, and that'll be Peyton Pritchard. Put his head down and go back to the right wing side of the Gamebridge Fieldhouse logo. Now at the top of the key, it's Tatum. Tatum now. We'll step back near the right wing side. He thought about it, leaves it here for White. White accelerates, spins, uses the glass and lays it in.
As beautiful as they can get, John, for Derek White to get the spinorama right around Indiana's defense. We talk about Indiana being one of the worst defenses in the league. Well, Boston seems to be capitalizing off of that. We don't know if Indiana, they're making a brownie with their offense, but they need an answer on defense.
Man, if you're going to give, I could say Obi Toppin, you probably have to live with that. That was like 25 feet, still made it anyway. Here's a pass almost intercepted. Horford picks it up. White's wide open. Horford trying to battle for the ball. This might go against a loose ball foul against Benedict Mathurin. Got a piece of Horford anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be against Mathurin on the loose ball foul, but I still think about that White spinorama. That's as crafty as he can do against Indiana. Very nice and smooth.
Yeah, again, when the Celtics had a little bit more bench depth, he had Derek White coming off the bench able to score points, now a little bit in the starting lineup as Tatum drives, ties the game at 43. This has been back and forth. As this is set now for Nembhard now and Tyrese Halliburton at the top of the key. Halliburton, long range 3. He rainbows it in.
That came from 31 feet out. Of course, we speak of Damian Lillard range. That is indeed Damian Lillard range, the very definition of it.
My goodness, it's Derek White now. He tries to get down the lane. He lays it in again. He's turning on the Jets and getting to the rim with ease, Alec.
Yeah, the pace of these two, very fun to watch, the Celtics and the Pacers, with this type of speed and with this type of shooting.
Tatum, off the numbered miss. He'll be on the right wing side now. Andrews in his face. And it's still Tatum. Top of the key. He's going to take the 3. Tatum's been a little cold from the outside. It's 46-45 as the Pacers still have a 1-point lead with 2:40 left to go in the first half. Driving down the leg. Great block by Horford. And this is picked up now for the Celtics. It's Tatum. Tatum now trying to get his way to the top of the key. Good extra pass. And Derek White is on fire inside.
Even at 37, Al Horford is still reliable at this young age of 37. And then the extra pass through the other way, and that pays off for Boston.
Tyrese Halliburton's going to airball it. And this will be picked up now for White. Here's a long-distance lob. Tatum will save it and give it across for Peyton Pritchard. And we will see, I think, Joe Mazzulla take a TO here. With 2:04 left to go in the second. Celtics up by 1. It's 47-46 as we go to break.
You know, I don't think that Mazzulla liked that Tatum got a little too far, and by a little too far, just at a position where he's just laying at the point where he's below the backboard. I don't think he liked that. It just killed off the momentum of the offense for Boston, and so they had to use up a timeout to rethink their strategy.
Yeah, because for me, you got Derek White just crossing the timeline, and then he's kind of almost throwing a lob there for Tatum. You kind of wonder if the players, again, they run through the playbooks and they have their own sets of what they want to do. But that kind of felt like they were just freestyling a little bit right there.
Everyone's blowing loose. It feels like where is the play to be had? It feels like the space ran out just when Tatum went under the backboard.
Yeah, it really did. And again, I think that's a good call by you for Joe Mazzulla there to go ahead and take a timeout because I think he's going to talk to his players about it. Again, there really isn't anything we can say as far as some team taking the pace of play over the other. That's not existing here. It's Boston and Indianapolis, 47-46. This game has been tight all the way through. It was a 24-22 lead at the end of the first for the C's, but it's a 24-23 advantage right now in the box score in the second for the Pacers. This game has been as close as it's been throughout. I mean, the lead hasn't been more than 3 so far.
Yeah, it feels like no matter what happens, these two are going to get a lead change at some point in this game. It's not like the Heat Knicks game during the in-season tournament where the Heat went up by 21 in the third quarter, scoring 37 there, and then they get shut down the fourth quarter, scoring only 11 points there as the Knicks make that comeback. It was like, what just happened there?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything like that from what you were talking about in the sense in this game. Because again, Miami has an opportunity to do some of those things, but the way that Indianapolis plays, and again, we talked about it in the open. Again, Alec was here a little bit earlier before I was, but you saw some things on the TNT side as well. First in offense, first in fast break points, all that stuff. Last in defense, but that really hasn't stopped Indy from staying close in this one, as we got 2:04 left to go in the second. Your leading scorers right now, Jaylen Brown's been pretty good, 12 points on 6 of 8. On the other side for Tatum, he's 3 for 10 and 0 for 3 from distance. He's also missed a free throw as well, but he does have 7 points and 9 rebounds and 3 assists. On the other side, good balanced scoring for Indy. Miles Turner with 8 on 3 of 8, also hit a 3-pointer. 7 points for Brown, 7 points for Obi Toppin, who hit a really long distance 3, and then 7 points for Tyrese Halliburton as well. Mathurin has 8 off the bench.
Now, as you mentioned, very balanced scoring for the Pacers. Anyone on this team can score, and they can do it at will without it distributing the ball. With Halliburton already racking up 2 assists thus far, so previously one game he had 16 assists on a double-double night.
For who had 16 assists? My apologies, Alec. Go ahead and tell me again.
Halliburton.
Halliburton did. Okay, again, that makes sense. I thought you were almost said Miles Turner, and I would have fell out of my seat, but I would have believed that if you would have said that too. As it's 1:55 left to go here in the second. Here's a bounce pass. It'll be Hauser now for White. White can step into a 3. The Derek White experience in the second quarter. He's been brilliant.
That's what they brought him in from San Antonio for, and for him to take over in the in the subtraction of Marcus Smart. That's what I meant to say. So for him to take over the starting 5 with the departure of Smart to Memphis, he's been firing all cylinders thus far.
So he gives Boston a 4-point lead. Previous miss on the other side for the Pacers. It's Holiday. Let's see if he runs some just standard pick and roll offense here. He's got Andrew Nemhard right there. We picked up for Tatum and Halliburton. This is going to be a tough matchup. Tyrese Halliburton's pretty good, but Tatum's going to give him the moves. He's going to spin to the rack and throw it down.
Of course. That's what you bring him in for.
Tatum, you got the dunk, you got the rebound now. I would go right back to Jason here. That's just me. 50 seconds left to go in the second. It's Holiday. It's a switch. Halliburton's on him now. Tatum providing the screen. They're going to give it to Tatum with 8 seconds left to go on the Indy logo. The gold strip right down the middle. Going to take a long 3. Oh, he's going to knock it down. And the Celtics got their biggest lead. It's 9.
So he has the dunk, and he's going to strike right back. The spinorama dunk, the fake count on one side, and then you have the Damian Lillard type free going right back at him from the top of the key as well. This is what you need from your best player for him to find his confidence after he had a bad shooting night to begin with, but now he seems to be going right back.
For the Celtics, essentially, several years ago now, be able to move down in that draft and still be able to get Tatum. I mean, he's the best player in that draft.
He proved it by a country mile.
So the first free throw is made. I'm going to make sure I pull back this up on the ESPN part of the box score. So it's Bruce Brown makes the first free throw. Miles Turner is going to enter the game for Neesmith and Buddy Hield for Nemhard as well, as Bruce Brown's got one more coming. Trying to make it a 55-48 game, trying to stop a little bit of the C's run, courtesy of Tatum off the half spin and dunk and a long 3. Trying to carry that offense. And Derek White, it's been Tatum and White in the second quarter, really, for the C's. So here's the inbound pass after Bruce Brown makes both. It's 55-48. I'm going to be switching it back over here to Alec Nava when we get to the third quarter after the halftime break. But it's been a good contest so far. Derek White taking his sweet time, dribbling out the shot clock right now. It's Tatum. Long-range 3, right wing side, missed off the front of the rim. And Pacers can push it. They got the last shot now. for the second quarter. It's 55-48. There's an opportunity, and Holiday looked like he drew a charge. Yes, it is. It's going the other way.
Yep. He got pushed around by Bruce Brown over near the free throw line as well. As Indiana, they won the last shot of this quarter. That's not going to happen anymore.
Horford airballs a three from the left wing, but that ends the half. 55-48. C's out in front.
Sometimes we have to wonder, because Larry Bird played for the Celtics and he used to be a coach and still an executive for the Pacers. I wonder what side of the coin he's flipping at.
I don't know, Alec. That is the million-dollar question of the night. I guess you would root for your current employer.
I have to agree with you there, John.
That's where I'm leaning on this side. I know we're covering a basketball game, and I want to make sure that I mention this because I'm going to take maybe a couple-minute break and then come right back. But I want to stick with you for a few more minutes here. And the sense of it, what we have upcoming, it's going to be the Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans Pelicans 11-10 on the season. The Sacramento Kings 11-7. I'll pull up the RotoWire side of it, so it looks like C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. And then De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, and DeMontis Sabonis. Looks like, as Alec said, Chris Duarte and Alex Leonard playing on the other side, and Larry Nance and Matt Ryan for the New Orleans Pelicans. So I haven't got a chance to watch Zion very much this year, but can you tell me anything about what you're seeing, Alec?
From what New Orleans is bringing up, what we see from the Pelicans heading inside, they're middle of the pack in offensive rating, but they're posting a 119.6 rating in the last 2 weeks, which ranks 10th in the league. So defensively, they're on the rise on that front. They're ranking 5th there. Not only with Zion, but also guys like Herbert Jones, Dyson Daniels, and the sneaky Jose Alvarado off the bench. That sneaky steal. The Kings, we don't know what they're capable of with the offensive prowess. They upset the defending champion Nuggets the other day, 123-117. And they've been a completely different team with De'Aaron Fox this year, going 9-4 with him, 2-3 without him.
So that should be a lot of fun to watch in the nightcap. Again, admittedly, I'll probably watch a little bit of that. I might catch a little bit of the NHL. I did have to ask you an NHL question, though, to be honest with you, Alec. It's been a little while since we worked together on that. It's been about a week. And I'm looking at some of the score lines in the NHL. And I saw something the other day, but these teams are happening to be playing each other again. And Tampa has the 2-0 lead on the Dallas Stars as they went from a home and home. But the other day, Dallas beat the absolute doors off the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was 8-1.
We were both in disbelief upon seeing that scoreline because never in our wildest dreams would we be seeing the Stars just blasting the doors off the Lightning by that scoreline. And now the Lightning, they're immediately up 2-0 right now with Nikita Kucherov and Anthony Cirelli the goals. But this feels like an anger match by the Stars. It's like taking your anger out. And man, we were expecting this to be a close game with the Stars perhaps winning by 2 or 1 or 3. But man, this feels like go see a therapist.
Yeah, it's an absolute beatdown on that side. Again, Andre Vasilevsky has made the return for Tampa, but they've had a couple weeks where they look Tampa-like, and now they're 10-5. The Dallas Stars are 14-5-3 on the season. They're 8-1-2 on the road. Again, one of their latest losses was an overtime one of the Calgary Flames. But other than that, Dallas has looked really good. They're up 2-0, as Alec said. Your other scores across the league right now, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in the battle of on that side. It's 1-1 between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. The Canadians have a 1-0 lead against the Kraken after one, and the Jets are up 1-0 on the Canes.
Regarding Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, it's the second time they're going up against each other in 3 days, having played previously in Pittsburgh just 2 nights ago, where the Flyers took that after the Penguins tied up with 20 seconds left in regulation. And the Penguins had the majority of puck possession in that overtime period. And some good looks, many good looks as well, and nice defense on the other side. Unfortunately, this power play less than ideal And it feels like there's something going on with the power play because normally when you have a power play led by Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Jake Gensel, Brian Russ, and Eric Carlson on the first unit, you expect it to be automatic nearly every night. But this power play is one of the 3 worst power plays in the league, which is a shocker.
It is, and for Mike Sullivan's squad, as you mentioned there, Alec, I know that you're a big-time Penguins fan, but I have to believe, with the personnel that you just mentioned, going forward throughout the NHL season, they're going to find a way to at least put themselves better or around the middle of the pack. I just believe that. And for Sidney Crosby, already with his 15th on the season from Getzel and Rust, Tyson Forrester got the goal for the Flyers from Travis Konecny and Rasmus Ristolainen. Carter Hart's been brilliant. He stopped 25 out of 26, and Alex Nedeljkovic gets the start. He saves 21 out of 22, but Alex Nedeljkovic has not done what Tristan Jarry just did a few games ago, score a goalie goal.
Oh, well, would you believe that this goaltending tandem with Jarry and Nedeljkovic is the highest scoring goalie tandem among any goalie tandem throughout each of the 3 hockey levels in North America between ECHL, AHL, and NHL. Jarry scored 2, Nedeljkovic scored 3, with 2 of them coming in the AHL. First goaltender scored 2 goals in the AHL, but I'll tell you, there's something about this goaltending tandem that's not always special in stopping pucks because the Penguins were receiving quality goaltending here in Pittsburgh, but it feels like they're getting more and more confident as the season's wearing on, and they're making attempts for the net as well.
Yes, they definitely are. And again, the late games on that side will be the Capitals and the Coyotes. Look out for the Arizona Coyotes. Do not sleep on them. They're 12-9-2 this season. And the Capitals are 12-7-2. I feel like their record's probably better than what they're actually playing. And then the Blues will take on the Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena at 10 p.m. Eastern. That'll be the late game on that side. Alec, I'm going to step away for a couple minutes, but I will be right back.
All right, then. I'll see you when you get back, John. So, but in the meantime, there is one other game as we speak, as in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars get the first touchdown, a 4-yard rush from Travis Etienne, and that gets the Jaguars on the board over the Cincinnati Bengals, who have been dealing without Joe Burrow. Now to get Jake Browning onto the game, 4 for 4, 7 yards. The offense hasn't really been there for Cincinnati ever since Burrow's exit. But Trevor Lawrence on the other side, 2 for 2, 29 yards, including that 29-yard completion to Christian Kirk. That went for 26 yards on the first offensive play. So the scoring here, in the meantime, as John pointed out in the NHL, Lightning 2-0. Nikita Kucherov, 7:47 first period from Mikhail Sergachev and Steven Stamkos. Amity Cirelli from Eric Chernak and Nikita Kucherov, 18:21. That same frame. The Pittsburgh Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers 1-1. Sidney Crosby has the first goal with 46 seconds left in the first period from Jake Gensel, Brian Russ, Tyson Forrester from Travis Konecny, and Rasmus Ristolainen at 9:46 of the second period. Long goal for Montreal against Seattle came from Sean Monahan. He has the 7th from Josh Anderson and Jake Evans for free. First period, that game is in the second period. Penguins Flyers just ended the second period. And Hurricanes Jets, the only goal coming from Kyle Connor, his 15th of the year. Nikolai Ehlers and Mark Scheifele at the dimes. And speaking of the Jets, they have just signed Nino Niederreiter to an extension. So with the news of the Niederreiter extension, they pulled the news flash upstairs. He signed it to a 3-year deal, brings to a total of $12 million, $4 million average annual value. So the other news between the Washington Capitals and Arizona Coyotes in that game, which comes at 9 o'clock at Ford Arena, Evgeny Kuznetsov is a healthy scratch, as what Spencer Carberry described as a mental reset. As far as 4 goals, 9 points in 19 games this year with the Caps. Their game is the St. Louis Blues and the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. to be the site of the final 2 rounds of the in-season tournament. Later on tonight here, between the Pelicans and Kings, it'll be at Golden One Center. On the night, tomorrow it'll be the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks, and followed by the LA Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. First game is at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Second game at Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center in Los Angeles. We drive right down to the Jaguars and Bengals. They're up right now. The Jaguars are on defense currently. Chase Brown, a big rush. He's in for Joe Mixon tonight. Well, it's Brown getting 3 carries, 23 yards with Mixon. He's listed on the starting lineup as 1 rush, 4 yards. Something may be up with him. So previewing tomorrow's side in the NHL is Rangers, Senators, Kings, Blue Jackets, Red Wings, Sabres, Sharks, Islanders, Predators, Blue Jackets, Ducks, Avalanche, Wild, Flames, and Devils, Canucks on tomorrow's slate in the NHL.
I'm back, my friend. Thank you for that. Again, I had caught some of the stuff that you were previewing, and again, I heard the Nito Niederreiter extension. I think that's pretty good for the Winnipeg Jets on that. And again, he turned him into a second-round pick at the deadline to be able to acquire him. Now he gets a 3-year deal. This Jets team, I like what they've been able to do this year. I hope that they can stay healthy and continue to move forward.
And they've been looking good and on for the part throughout this season, early on, and for all the talks about if they're going to make the playoffs. Well, it seems that they've been playing like a playoff team. We didn't expect Winnipeg to be in that conversation. We've been looking at them more as a rebuilder after moving on from P.L. Dubois and Blake Wheeler, plus some of the moves they made. But turning Dubois into all of Gabe Velarde, Alex Iafallo, and Rasmus Kupari, plus that pick they got in return, looks like a nice haul this far. Plus you got Niederreiter in the mix and a fully healthy Cole Perfetti. You got yourselves a nice team.
Yeah, you do. And they really kind of understand at that point, as we're looking at Zion Williamson on the late game and NBA on TNT, Pelicans and Kings. Kings are 4-0, and then Pelicans are 3-1. But you look at it, Kevin Shovel-Dayoff, I think, kind of had to do the rebuild on the fly. There was too much talent on the squad to be able to tear the entire thing down.
Yeah. Plus, you get and also with the Shifley and Hellebuck extensions, 7 years each for both of them. So they get to be, for the most part, Jets for life on that front. And you nailed it, John. There's too much talent that the Jets have to be able to do a full-scale rebuild. There's just not a way if you can do a full-scale rebuild. And the more safe choice for them if they want to continue to be playoff contenders, a rebuild on the fly.
Yeah, I think it's something that you had to do. It's really interesting, though, when you look at the Jets, and I might be going on a little bit of a tangent here, but when they started several years ago with Patrick Laine, he looked like an absolute superstar through a couple of seasons. Then you had to move on from him and go P.L. Dubois. He wants to go elsewhere. Now he's with the LA Kings. I mean, things could have looked a lot different for the Winnipeg Jets, but they kind of stayed the course, and I think it's going to work out.
And there were a lot of talks about Dubois playing for his hometown Montreal Canadiens, but if we're being honest, Montreal is a rebuilding team, and they want to stick with their march and continuing their rebuild and acquiring key pieces to help out the core that's headlined by Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, and perhaps to develop Caden Goulet into a number one defenseman. We speak of Montreal, they're now 2-0 on Seattle, thanks to Tanner Pearson, the assist from Brendan Gallagher and Christian Dvorak.
I think Montreal and Martin St. Louis, I know they've made the Stanley Cup Finals several years ago, and they were removed to start to rebuild a little bit. I think that team's going to be dangerous in the East.
And down the line, further down the road, we can imagine them being one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. When we look at the Atlantic Risers, we speak of Atlantic Risers. This week may be a big week for the trio of Detroit, Buffalo, and Ottawa to see who has progressed the most as a playoff contender. So far, it points to the Red Wings.
I like that call out on that side. And again, Buffalo and Detroit, as you said, they're going to be playing each other on ESPN Plus. And for Ottawa, they just have a ton of games that they still have to make up on that end. They really have been outpaced as far as the games played department. And I wonder how long DJ Smith is going to stay head coach.
Yeah, this has to be a legitimate question because if you're not getting the results, it feels like there needs to be a change of pace on the team. If after the Alex DeBrincat trade, when you're acquiring him and then trading him out to Detroit, it feels like they're stuck in the same place as they were before, despite adding Jonas Corpuzalo, Vladimir Tarasenko, and Dominic Kubalik.
Yeah, I think maybe the fans, I don't know how upset they are in the Canadian Tire Center. I imagine they are a little bit. There's too much talent on the squad to. I know they got some games to make up, and if they do that, that could prove to be the difference. But I think Ottawa should kind of be in a playoff spot.
They should be, but this game is played on the ice. And as the reason why there is a point in playing games. I know Florida State, they wanted to echo that after they arguably got robbed of being
That's a
in the
rough
college
one.
football playoff.
That's a rough one there, Alec. I would not be happy if I'm a Seminoles fan.
You know, I know someone who went to Florida State. She is a Seminoles fan, and she vented her frustrations about the robbery and what Florida State fans describe, having them left out in favor of Alabama because they want to argue that the NCAA is pushing the narrative that the SEC is the most powerful conference in football. And feel Florida State, they have a legitimate case. There's no doubt that Alabama is the better team. I feel Florida State has the better case for the playoffs.
Yeah, and before you get into this playoff, this in-season playoff, I'll just tell you this. They're going to have an 18 playoff in the NCAA football part of it because you have to now after what happened.
You have to. There's no other choice for the selection committee to process. You need to have the 18 playoff at least. So we get right back. Second half underway with the Celtics getting the first possession. Tatum left over Al Horford misses, and the rebound tipped several times before being picked up by Bruce Brown. The NBA champion with the Nuggets. Inside for Miles Turner, who knocks it down. Drives inside to the rim. Puts it up. Kaboom.
Are these two teams playing NBA Jam, Alec? Because I'm seeing a lot of lob attempts.
Either NBA Jam or NBA Street.
Yeah.
Look how fast that they've been playing. Here the Pacers, another free play attempt. The rush. And a miss there. Jaylen Brown secures the rebound and avoids the foul. Brown to the right side for Holiday. Turner's on him. A screen for Brown. Switching onto him is Healed. Jaylen Brown gets it back from Holiday and Tatum. Brown to the inside, lays it up. He's been all over the score for Bonds, and he has another layup. That brings him up to 14 points.
Yeah, I like the balance that Jaylen Brown's been able to throw. I should say Tatum as well. Rebounds, baskets inside, threes, dunks. He's done it all.
And he's done everything thus far. And not only with the dunks and threes, but we need to account for the mid-range shots as well. There is a discussion here by the referees after this play. You know, like both teams may need to get some things sorted out.
It looked like somebody went into the crowd.
Did somebody go into the crowd? Strange.
Yeah, I think there was a player that went into the front row seat.
And just as Tyrese Halliburton knocked it down from Damian Lillard range, he's been a flamethrower tonight. And Jaylen Brown the other way draws the foul, sinks it at one.
My goodness, back and forth. These teams have not stopped. They've kept the same pace. Jaylen Brown there. I mean, there's nothing Obi Toppin can do. And if Tyrese Halliburton continues to hit these shots from that far, I don't even know how you guard him.
And that's what you call a smart shot, John. Whenever someone's going right at you and you shoot it off, that's what you call drawing the foul and attempt to beat them. As Brown shoots the free throw well short off the near rim, visibly so. Halliburton moves up fast, but Holiday stays with him. Halliburton to the rack, not just
Man, he's showing his bag of skills right now.
He's got a full bag of magic tricks. You can reckon that rabbits are coming out of the hat. And speaking of rabbits coming out of their hats, here's Jason Tatum. See what their response. Going right back at Howie, who has the ball, goes to the right side. Hill, right back for Howie Burner. Watched by Derek White. 10 to shoot. Howie Burner goes left. Howie Burner kicks it out. On the right side, this is Bruce Brown who hooks it. And the rebound by Jalen Brown. So the two Browns, they've been going back and forth of each other. Oh, this pass was knocked away by Miles Turner. And this was somewhere along the 8th row.
So I know I mentioned this on the YouTube side as far as I throw a question out there whether or not Tyrese Halliburton's a top 5 point guard in the NBA. He's probably not there, but his offensive game that he's showcased right now, Alec, I mean, he looks like a pure point.
Especially in these last 5 games where he has averaged 35 points per game. So not only can he throw the dimes, he can throw up the assist.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, no! He had an open corner free right side. He got one man to commit and then shot it off, but missed it there on the mark. Buddy Hield for Miles Turner. At the right wing, a handoff. In comes Bruce Brown with the left hand. This rolls out. Tatum the rebound. White moves it up with pace. Derek White one-on-one with Alec. White double team kicks out for Horford. Jalen Brown open free. And this one misses too. That's back-to-back ties. That Celtics 3-point shots have ended up with donut holes. Howie on the other end. Feed for Toppin. He got it to fall on the roll-in. Obi Toppin.
He's got a lot of athleticism here. There's been some wide open baskets for both teams that have been missed from 3, though.
Yeah, Jalen Brown, the other side, he did not miss that time. And contrary to popular belief, he can drive left. Here's Alec from deep. Kaboom! Tyrese Halliburton from deep.
And he does not care what defender it is. Again, that shot release might look a little funky, but it's fast and it's accurate.
Yeah, shot that came all the way from Fort Wayne. We're talking about locations that Matt Devlin uses on the Sportsnet TSN broadcast for the Toronto Raptors, and this pass goes out of bounds just as this was going towards Derek White. And the Pacers start things up.
Looks like eventually we're going to be getting a timeout here. I know you're probably a little bit ahead of me on that side, but the Boston Celtics, they got the lead right now, but this game has been back and forth like crazy.
Speaking of back and forth, here is Miles Turner on cue. As he said, John, you called it. It is a timeout. Joe Mazzulla uses second TO.
So 1-point game again, and everybody at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse is back to their feet. Tyrese Halliburton, again, I'm getting a first-class ticket to be able to cover this game with you, and that's always a lot of fun going back and forth. But man, oh man, is he good.
And yes, sir, he has been. 15 points, 8 rebounds. We speak of his assists, he has 4 of them. And that's a far cry from a 16-assist game. But you don't need him to have 16 assists every game. You gotta once you have nice nights from his shooting,
right?
The Pacers are rolling.
Because what I'm seeing now, like here on this side, is just honestly being able to probe the lane. He's going to get other defenders to commit. You have to respect his outside shot, and then when you do have to respect his outside shot, it opens up either lanes for his teammates or gives Tyrese a chance to go right to the rim and score.
Yeah, no matter where he is, he's always a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And this offensive explosion for the Pacers as they're jumping right up and having Pacers fans being taken back to the days of Paul George and Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, because let's just be honest. Maybe the NBA defense isn't exactly where you want it to be as far as even, years for you when you were a teenager or definitely when I was. It's a lot different between the 90s and 2000s basketball that I kind of grew up with on that side. But this Boston Celtics team, with the names that are on the roster, maybe the numbers might not say, but they're one of the better elite defenses we would have, and they're having trouble with the Pacers right now.
Yeah, you would imagine that for one of the teams that's one of the league's elite on defense, they'll catch up to the Pacers and match up every turn. Drew Holiday's doing that, but for the most part, the Pacers, they've been exhausting the Celtics on every turn
Right.
and matching their speed.
Yeah, and that's what's made this matchup so interesting. Again, from the first in offense to last in defense for the Pacers, it really doesn't seem to matter. And even though it's 10-8 as far as their record so far this season, I really can see them not. I'm not even talking about playing. I think that they could get a top six portion in the East. I know that sounds kind of lofty, but if they can continue this offense and they just find a way to get a few more stops here and there, why not?
Yeah, never a bad idea. I'm thinking of the Pacers as a playoff team. Of course, you have the defense that is of question,
Sure.
but the offense makes up for that lost ground from the defense. And the Pacers up and rolling, a top 16, certainly up there.
Yeah, because right now, again, I'll just be honest, Tyrese Halliburton's kind of playing himself into an All NBA ticket this season.
I mean, speaking of top 16s, well, don't look now, but the Orlando Magic had the second seed in the East at 14-6 and went tiebreaker over Milwaukee for the moment.
Let me go ahead and double check that because honestly, I'm going to have to clean my glasses and clean my ears out from what you just said. Are you kidding me? The Orlando Magic is rolling that well?
Yeah. I mean, Jamal Mosley's team, he's the head coach of the Magic.
Wow.
And he's coaching his team to success with Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. We can't believe it, John.
That's coach of the year consideration to me, honestly, right now.
That as far as we know, that should be coach of the year consideration. Jaylen Brown almost thought he had it. I thought he had it too, but misses on the layup as it rolls out. But we got to get praise to Jamal Mosley. We can speak of this when we get our next time out. Buddy Hill from three. No, and this rolls to the top of the backboard. Get the ladders out.
We're doing this again. I know we had that before in one of our broadcasts, but it's always entertaining.
Oh, yeah, the wedgie from Paul George
Yeah.
between the Clippers and the Nuggets.
We always have some moments here as they really need to make sure they got to get this away from the camera walls. There they go. They got it.
Oh, good job from them. And good job by the mob crew who worked extra hard tonight. Not only in cleaning up the sweat from the players left behind in fouls, but also getting that top of the backboard ball as Jason Tatum knocks down a triple. 66-62 Boston. But once again, good job on the mob crew. Alec with speed. Passing over to Toppin. He fires one deep. He knocks it down. Anything you can do, I can do it just like you.
You got to be careful here if you're the Indiana Pacers because that Tatum three was a little bit more contested and he knocked it down. If he gets hot, that could change this game.
Speaking of threes, here's Derek White on another three. Boy, it's been raining cats, dogs, and three-pointers here in Indy.
Yeah, man, this game is going to continue to go back and forth. Who's going to win it? It's anybody's guess. Just enjoy the theater.
Speaking of theater, well, Obi Toppin didn't follow up there as he missed his second free in as many offensive possessions. Brown, this one knocked away several times. The Celtics makes this an out of bounds last touch by Indianapolis, and they do get their wish. They'll get it back.
Oh, man, that was a heck of a lot of contact there against Jaylen Brown.
I mean, he was getting harried all over the place by the Pacers who've been playing true to their name. You can say this as many times as you want as Derek White rolls his tray right around the rim and stayed out. Halliburton single coverage by White this time. He tries and kicks out for Turner. Turner tries one. He knocks it down. There's another triple in Indy, and the pace is being sped up.
And Miles Turner's kind of showcased a little bit of everything tonight, hasn't he, Alec?
Yeah, would it be inside the paint or at the rack? And Tatum, he draws the and one on the layup. Bruce Brown says, "What did I do?" But he's going to get the foul against him.
Well, there's nothing you could do when a Bulldog number 0 goes down the lane. This is another half spin. This time it's off the layup and not the dunk. Tatum is in his bag right now, and he's doing work.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. And after that rough shooting start for Tatum, he's bounced back and got right up to speed. He and Jaylen Brown Batman and Robin in Boston. What we can describe him, 19 and 18 points respectively.
That's very well said, Alec, on that side as Obi Toppin sits down. For Toppin on the other side, again, for the New York Knicks, I didn't realize he would be as good of a three-point shooter. It looks like he's been working on that in Indiana.
Yeah, we'd imagine that he'll be a dunk contest candidate, as he has been for the Knicks. And right back, go to the Pacers, Bruce Brown and one.
Are you kidding me? This game is absolutely entertaining. Bruce Brown accelerates, able to finish that one over White. Again, he's turned into quite a player. I think about the Pistons over the last few years. I know I'm going back with Aaron Afalo, but it was Chris Middleton, it was Bruce Brown, it was Spencer Dinwiddie, some other pieces that are thriving now with other teams. But good job for Brownie because he's now an NBA champion.
Yeah, with Denver last year, carrying over that championship experience to Indiana. They look to get back into playoff contention, and he is doing his part in helping the Pacers getting back to the playoffs for Rick Carlisle's squad in his second stint with them. Game's even up 71-0. Brown from mid-range, and Jalen misses that. Their tough rebound by Miles Turner was contested, got knocked loose by the Celtics. The Pacers will bring it up with 5:10 left in the third.
Man, that shot almost went down for Jaylen Brown. I'm not quite sure how he hit the rim there. This is going to be turned over, and now Tyrese Halliburton's got the ball.
Yeah, his initial shot was blocked, but he got his own block back. He sinks it in. Boy, this kid is something special in Indianapolis. Jaylen Brown driving left onto the rack, turns around. This gets knocked loose. He and Neesmith pull onto it. Is this going to be a jump ball?
Not seeing it right now here, Alec, on this side, admittedly, because you're a little bit ahead of me, but this has been fighting all over, and this crowd is really into this basketball game. Everybody's enjoying it right now.
Everyone on their feet, and they're all staring up at the video board. They're trying to see if this is a foul, but they're going to say it is a foul. For the moment, here's Jaylen Brown. Didn't make that one through. Here comes Indiana. Halliburton up for Hill. Hill fakes right back for Hallie. Hallie drives it right in. There's Callie Love, and then there's Hallie Love.
My goodness, do I need to get myself a Halliburton jersey? He's doing it all.
At this point, we could get some on one of those. 19 points for him, 12 this quarter alone. White kicks out for Banton. The check is defense here. Those have been going up louder than ever. White, tough three. Too far there. The rebound contested. Hauser body was tripped. There's not going to be a foul on this play. Hallie on the other side of the court with less than 4 minutes to go here in the third. Hallie moves up. A wing side three. That is short. Rebound from White. Starting up the offense at the paint is Cornette. White drives it in. And did not get this one to fall for the rebound for JB. Corner three, faked it by White. White drives it in again. And he draws the no. It's going to be a charge here against Derek White, drawn by Aaron Neesmith, the former Celtic.
Man, the former Celtic made a great play. I think he was there his whole time. He just got away from the restricted line, and the crowd is going absolutely insane as we get a Pacers timeout.
Oh, they love that drawn charge by Neesmith on Derek White. Of course, Neesmith knows a thing or two about the Celtics. That's his former team. And, of course, he's going to play his absolute best. Whenever you play against one of your former teams, that brings the extra motivation.
I know we're having a lot of fun with this broadcast, Alec, but let me just ask you this question, man to man. Just pretend it's you and me talking here, just like it is. Did you expect this game to be this good so far?
Well, we were expecting this to be a game that could be controlled by Boston, given that Indiana is one of the worst defenses in the league. But we didn't expect this to be Indiana taking this in a back-and-forth game. Of course, there's a lot of time left for Boston to come back. But Indiana, wow, they've been very impressive throughout the season under breakout. And this game backs it up.
Yeah, and for all the talk, again, you just mentioned this, and I'll double down on it. We talk about the offense and defense and the way that it's switched. Indiana can't play defense. Well, how about this? 27-16 so far in the third quarter differential on the box score. Pretty good for the Pacers.
Well, sometimes the best defense is an explosive offense, John.
I think that's really well said. That's probably what we're seeing. But Aaron Neesmith is certainly bringing on the defensive intensity, and it really got the crowd into it. They were already into this right now. And we said going into Rick Carlisle wanted the crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse to be loud for everybody to get into it. I know we're not in the NBA postseason, but the in-season tournament trying to provide more intrigue, and Adam Silver trying to get more eyes and ears on the product. And honestly, I think from the ratings and everything else that I've heard, I think it's done a good job here for Adam Silver in the NBA.
Yeah, it's brought more meaning to regular season games and for players to take games more seriously in the regular season. It feels like a FIFA World Cup style of tournament, and it's living up to the hype. For everyone is saying, well, this is not going to be successful in any way. What's the point of this? Well, I feel like those naysayers, they've been proven wrong throughout this tournament.
Yeah, if the games continue to stay this competitive and everybody's into it this much, this in-season tournament's not going to go anywhere, my friend.
And we can look at teams that can be a surprise next season in contention for the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
An opportunity for smaller market teams, namely Orlando, Indiana, Sacramento, Milwaukee, those teams to get it done in the NBA in-season tournament. It presents an opportunity for small market teams.
Yeah, I think that's a great call by you because it gives them national TV exposure on TNT and ESPN.
Of course. So perhaps next year, if Orlando keeps up this pace in this year,
yeah,
we could possibly see them in next year's in-season tournament. Our first look at Paulo Banchero here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. Was when you mentioned that in the standings, I couldn't believe it on that side. I don't have NBA League Pass this year, but next time with NBA 2K next year, I'm gonna have to buy that version of it. As we're gonna be having some fun with the semifinal game tomorrow between the Lakers and Suns, but I only hope it's gonna be as good as this one.
Anything can happen. Of course, indeed, as we get right back. Pacers now with the ball after the draw charge by Neesmith, and a missed three right back going too far. Sam Hauser to rebound as he takes it up for the C's. 3:20 to go here. Third quarter, Pacers hold a narrow 4-point lead. They have 3 timeouts left. Celtics have 5. Drew Holiday receiving from the inside from Pritchard. Deep pass from Pritchard. Weak side free. And double ripped out. Hauser is hit. He gets the feed from Cornette. We're not sure if Cornette was out of bounds. Brown up free. This one's too far. And this rebound is saved by Brown again. Brown is going to drive it in. Brown will kick it out for Hauser. Hauser fakes. Back for Pritchard, who drives inside. Pritchard will kick it out for Hauser. D2. He knocks it down. We don't know if this is going to count, though, because he thought that Cornette may have been out of bounds. They're going to roll that he stayed in the play. We're not sure where he was. Hale now. Hale will kick it back. Maverick inside for Mercado. Mercado at the paint. Mercado has to lay it up. He does so. TJ Mercado with the response on Sam Hauser.
Man, there were so many open threes there for the Celtics, but TJ McConnell finally gets one as he spins away for Cornette, who played good defense.
And guess what happens right back? It's going to be an offensive foul on who I thought was out of bounds on the Hauser free, Luke Cornette, with 2:13 left.
Man, that's got to feel like a double gut punch there, Alec.
It has to, considering that Indy is up by 1 possession, a three-pointer, and they have the ball. You give them possession once again. Mavericks free, connects. Benedict Maverin from Fort Wayne gives the Indiana Pacers a 6-point lead with less than 2 left.
That was a good screen on that side. Somebody lost an assignment with Sam Hauser, and he had to pay for that one.
And there's a three-point I missed from Drew Howard. It was a contested free. Not sure if that was his smart idea. And Cornette over another block. Hale the free. There's another body. Hale says, I am your buddy, guy. The Pacers up by 9 and force the Celtics to take just their 3rd timeout this game.
And I feel bad for Cornette on this side. He gets schooled off an up and under layup. He gets called for a charge there. He makes a good block. It falls to Buddy Hield, who knocks down the three, and Missoula's got to call a TO. This is bizarro world.
Everything is going bonkers here. Everything is happening, John. Between the three-pointer from one side, then you get back-to-back threes on the other. Luke Cornett, who Buddy had a defensive stop on the block, he gets lost on an island.
So this answers the biggest lead of the game for the Boston Celtics was once 9. The Indiana Pacers now hold a 9-point lead, 83-74. With a minute 34 left to go in the third, can the Pacers continue this? It's 35-19 differential in the third quarter. They've taken command, but we know once we get in the fourth, we're going to see plenty of Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Of course, you get your two superstar players on the court, no matter what the situation is. You want to get them out there. You want to instigate a comeback for the rest of this game. There you have it. You said it best.
So it's really important now within this final 1:15 in the third. I think the Celtics need an answer here. They need a couple baskets.
Yeah, they badly need one here. As they go right back, moving up is Brown, who kicks it out and knocked away by McConnell. He's gone. Give it over Buddy Hield. And there it is, the first double-digit lead by either of these two teams tonight. The Pacers on a 17-3 run in the last 4.5 minutes. Holiday on the inside. There's a foul with 1:04 left, and the Celtics need that draw foul badly.
The Celtics offense, again, as Alec just mentioned, a 17-3 run they're being held against with 4:40 there on that side. Can you believe that? As TJ McConnell makes a beautiful read off the steal, dishes it over for Buddy, and the Pacers are rolling, and every basket's only going to make this crowd even louder.
Yeah, if they want to pull off this upset on the Celtics, the best team in the East, who many regard as NBA contenders, title contenders, that is, as Drew Holiday not spoke, but it's going to take more than just 2 free throws for the Celtics to get back at the Pacers' prolific offense as we head to the final minute of the third. 9-point lead for Indy, but no lead is safe. McConnell parked to the inside, trying to find a lane, kicks it out for Hield. Hield has McConnell wide open to his right, does not go to it. Hield with 4 to shoot, kicked out to the right side for Maverick. Maverick pulls up, that is short. The rebound from Jaylen Brown. 37 seconds left as there's 16 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Brown holds on to it from the logo. Brown is being locked up from that spot, and now he starts up opposite Neesmith. Brown lays it up, and the Celtics looking at 2 right back at the Pacers.
This is going to be a very fun finish here. They need to continue to get more points. It's a good attack for Brown.
So the shot clock is not turned off here. They're going exactly as the shot clock says. McConnell from mid-range. And now the shot clock is turned off as McConnell misses. Now deep is Luke Cornett, who couldn't bring home this pass. And there are 3 ticks left in the third quarter. And perhaps the Pacers will take this in the fourth.
We're going to end this third quarter 85-78. And this was one heck of a run for the Indiana Pacers, 37-23 in that third quarter. Can they hold it? That's the million-dollar question. We know that Boston's going to make some adjustments, but Alec, I know I'm going to say this half jokingly, as the Indiana Pacers are 10-8 in the regular season, but they're 4-0 in the in-season tournament, threatening to go 5-0 with a trip to Vegas. Can Rick Carlisle just tell the Pacers that every game's a playoff game, so they play with this type of energy?
You know, if Rick Carlisle can instruct his players exactly that, of course they're going to respond to this because they've been playing like a playoff team. You think back to the days of old Carlisle's first stint, you think back to the 61-win team that Indiana had. Of course, whenever you think of the first stint for Carlisle on the Pacers, people bring up the Malice at the Palace.
Yeah.
But that Pacers team, they've been electric. But this Pacers team here, perhaps even more fireworks. than what we've been seeing previously, perhaps matching that of the Paul George Pacers.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I think I'm happy that you said that because I think this Pacers team has just as much life as that one. I know there was some postseason bursts. I know there was some fire there against the Miami Heat when it was the big three at that time between LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. But I'm feeling those vibes right now. I'm going to jump into that pool and jump into those thoughts because I really like what I'm seeing from the Pacers right now. I know it's one game. I know it's the in-season tournament, but this really looks like a playoff team.
They really have been looking the part. They've been rising up, and they made their jump. Carlisle, we can say that he's going to be a Coach of the Year candidate up there with Jamal Mosley of the Orlando Magic. But it feels like it's going to be a tight race when looking upon the standings for Coach of the Year when we think about it. But if the Magic can keep this up, we can see Mosley winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and he was essentially almost like an afterthought as far as coaching that team. And look at what the Magic have done. I mean, that's blown away everybody's expectations so far.
Yeah, we could possibly say these two and the Minnesota Timberwolves have been going off, and Mark Geithner with the OKC Thunder as they're at the 2 seed in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and I hope that, honestly, in between some of the other games that we get to do, selfishly, Alec, I hope we get to cover a couple more OKC games because I really like watching them.
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and everyone involved there. Of course, there's all the questions around Josh Giddey and his recent controversy. We don't know what the end that is going to be about. But I want to get some NHL updates in the meantime. So Montreal leads 3-1. Recent goals from Sean Monahan, the power play. Jared McCann got one back for Seattle. Winnipeg is up 2-0 thanks to Nikolai Ehlers, and the Lightning 3-0 on the Stars, courtesy of Luke Glendening.
Again, for the Seattle Kraken, I'll mention this before I get into the play-by-play. They need to start banking some points in the standings.
They really need to, because everything seems to be taking a step back. We all know that the offense has been the source of their breakout last season. And it feels offense wasn't there for them this year.
No, it hasn't, and that's got to change quickly if they want to make something happen. Again, we talked about what could be an on-again, off-again type of year, and it's understandable. But if you had 2 years in a row like that, Dave Hextall might be on the hot seat. So let's start the fourth quarter. Again, on the ESPN side, that box is probably about 40 seconds ahead of me, so I hope, Alec, I don't have to restart my feed. But it's 11:40 left to go here for me in the fourth. It's an 85-78 lead for the Pacers. And a chance inside. This is heavily contested for Miles Turner. Had to get around 3 Celtics. And Derek White will try to take this left right there in the road whites with the green tripping. As far as the Celtics logo, pass goes too far. That was a lazy one there from White and Holiday. It's a turnover.
I believe every Pacers fan in attendance there, they saw that with their eagle eyes, knowing that was going to be a turnover. That's their 15-1 tonight.
That's a good call out for you on that side. 15 and just 4 for the Pacers. Another block for Cornette. As now it's an opportunity for Derek White to try to get this right at the top of the key. Peyton Pritchard, no hesitation, right wing 3. And boy, did the Celtics need that.
Well, how many blocks Luke Cornette has put up? He has 4 of them on the night. And his ability to turn defense into offense in transition off the bench. You need that type of production from your bench players.
Halliburton said Miles Turner wide open, but he missed it at the top of the key. Now it's Tatum against Miles. What a speed mismatching. It's blocked from behind by Turner, though. Tatum slow to get up. Bennett Mathurin. Wide open pass across right wing. Goes off the front of the rim, and this will stay with the Boston Celtics as Holiday gets poked in the eye.
Oh, that's got to be tough for Drew Holiday. Not a nice feeling getting poked in the eye, no matter what. But Aaron Neesmith, he went up and a little revenge block on his former team.
Derek White tries to lay it up off the glass. Halliburton jumping save. He runs into his teammates on that side. He's no worse for wear. With 10:15 left to go in the fourth, Rick Carlisle looks on. The Pacers' lead is cut to 4. Again, Indiana won the third quarter 37-23. We're going to see if they're going to hold it. It's going to be triggered and sideline out of bounds for Tatum. It'll be an opportunity off the jump, and this will still go for Cornet. And now White will get the screen from Luke. White now, floating chance, draws the foul. He's going to go to the line to shoot two.
I believe the foul was from the back of the jersey on White. That may have been what drew the contact there.
Tyrese Halliburton will pick it up. Again, he's not in foul trouble on that side. Jaylen Brown was on that end, but I think he's going to be okay now in the fourth. He didn't pick up anything in the third. Derek White's going to go to the line and shoot two, as the Celtics are going to try to cut into this. Alec and I knew that they would. The question is how much, but it's a three-point game now.
It's been very close for these two with how prolific the two of them have been on the offensive side. Scoring may not show it, but the pace that they possess, bringing the offense from their defensive end and to the offensive end in just a blink of an eye.
So a couple free throws made there for Derek White and for Alec Nava mentioning that. Again, I agree with them on that side. Pacers have shown themselves well enough defensively to have a 2-point lead, but can they sustain it? Boston's opened the fourth quarter with 5 straight points. It's an opportunity now for the Pacers able to send this one across. Pick it up now on the right wing side. A couple extra passes. It's Mathurin blocked by Cornet again. At least got a piece of it, but I think he's going to draw the foul. And it'll go up against Cornet.
Yeah, that's a foul there with Cornet going for his fifth block. As amazing as this can be imaginable, but you get body contact on Mathurin. Of course, they're going to call that any day.
So we will do this again at the free throw line. If we try to get a couple more points here for Indy, they need it right now. They don't want to see their lead shrink. Mathurin makes the first 86-83. He's got one more coming with 9:52 left to go in the fourth. John out here alongside Alec Nava. We're at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's an NBA in-season tournament quarterfinal between the Pacers and Boston. Again, whoever wins this one goes to Vegas, as this makes both. Mathurin extends the lead to 4, and now we'll see what the Celtics can do with Holiday. As he'll slowly cross the line. Mathurin 13 points, but 4-12 shooting. He does have 5 rebounds. As it's Tatum, right wing side, trying to get around a host of defenders, airballs it, picks it up now. The Pacers looking to push in transition. It's Brown down the lane. He can't make it as the Celtics were bottling him up at the rim. And now it's White. White will leave it for Tatum, top of the key. Inside pass, Cornet will catch it one-handed. Turn, hook and hit. And the Celtics now only down by 2.
Cornet's been the do everything big man for Boston thus far. Not only the box, but he's been all over the paint on both sides. Dunks, layups, you name it.
Mathurin gets the screen, step back, knocks it down, 90-85.
That type of game, the Pacers they're playing in their sort of game, and the Celtics, even though they're matching it, they're still biting the Pacers' dust, no matter where it is on the court.
Absolutely. Hauser can't make the 3 from the right wing. It's Bruce Brown. He's got it now from a severe angle, working his way at the top of the key, still rocking the dribble. He's got to switch with Cornet. He's got a ton of speed here. What are they going to do? Hook and hit for Miles Turner. And the Pacers starting to extend their lead back to where it was. It's 92-85 with 8:28 in the fourth. And we get a timeout, Joe Mazzulla.
So now both teams with 3 timeouts each. And we get pretty balanced scoring throughout the starting 5 for Indiana. Boston has a balanced scoring to sense, as 4 players have been double digits between Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, and Sam Hauser. Drew Holiday closing in that mark, but it's been a Pacers type of night between Hallie, Turner, Bruce Brown, Toppin, Buddy Hield, and off the bench, Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, you have 6 different players in this game, Alec, with double-digit scoring for Rick Carlisle's squad, and that is really what you need. And again, Indy started this quarter down 5-0. They've had a 7-2 run, which forced Joe Mazzulla to call a timeout as the Pacers trying to relinquish control. Again, the spread, it looks like Vegas and everyone else has gotten the spread was about 4, and Pacers +4 on that side. It looks like they might be okay here, But with 8:28 left to go in the fourth, we know that there's going to be a push. But I was impressed so far as Boston, they started out pretty good in the fourth, but the Pacers came right back and smacked them in the mouth.
Yeah, no matter what, the Pacers, they're on every turn on the opposite side, playing their game. Of course, coaches say play your game. That's what you're instructed to do. And the Pacers are indeed playing their game.
Yes, they are. And on both sides, both teams have used 9 players. The extent of the bench has not been used just yet. Maybe in a game like this, especially in the in-season tournament, it's encouraged to use your best players. But everybody's been rolling right now. Again, for Halliburton, you have 19 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, almost working his way with a triple-double. And Miles Turner's 17 and 10. He's a plus 19 on the floor. Buddy Hield's a plus 22. And on the other end for Jaylen Brown, he leads the C's with 20 on 10 of 17 shooting. Jason Tatum, he's been hotter in the second half than he was in the first. He's got 19 and 12 and 6 assists as we're in the middle of break.
Yeah, sometimes it feels strange about how one player starts off slowly, but then they heat up in the second half. We talk of players like Jason Tatum. Of course, he had that slow first half or first 3 quarters against the Sixers in Game 6, but he heated up in the fourth quarter to finish with 19 points. He's the type of player that can heat up in the clutch and has been one of the most clutch players in the league. Well, speaking of clutch, our team Natchez with a clutch goal at the end of the second period against the Jets. The Hurricanes cut it to a big one. It's a close game between the Penguins and Flyers again. This time tied at 1 in the final stages of regulation.
I'm going to be very interested to follow along in the in-season tournament that we have between New Orleans and Sacramento and the NHL side of it. I don't think I have enough remotes and enough TVs to watch what I want to check out tonight.
I mean, you got to get ESPN Plus to be all over the place.
Yeah.
That's for getting some overtime on the ESPN Plus side.
It's a really good shot that we got for the Gainbridge Fieldhouse before we return back to play. That's now Derek White on the left wing. He's almost near the out-of-bounds side in his red shoes. And this is in for Tatum. He's wide open from 18. He knocks it down. That's the smoothest butter there for Tatum. It's now 92-87.
Yeah, of course. We spoke of Tatum at the break about how someone can get hot at the right possible time. That is the right possible time to get him rolling.
Turner puts his head down, scoop it, score it!
Of course, right on cue, Miles Turner, their long tenured player for the Pacers. Of course, you would imagine he would strike at some point. That is the point.
That is a good effort there for Halliburton to jump the lane. And for Benedict Mathurin, that was the cleanest pump fake jump I've ever seen from Al Horford. And he got Mathurin to bite, but he did not release the shot. Still at Celtics ball, sideline out of bounds.
I'd imagine if Horford may have wanted to backtrack on that milk shot because it feels he had a good look, but didn't get it off.
He certainly did. A foul is going to be called on the floor, I believe, against the Pacers. Halliburton's going to pick it up. That's kind of tough because he made a great play to knock it out, but he's going to get another foul. I don't think he's in any sort of trouble here. I'll make sure if they track it on that side, I will let you know as I look in on the side of the box score, but it looks like it's third of the game as it's the Celtics ball. And now on the right wing side, it's Derek White. Again, I can't get used to him just having the goatee at the bottom side of it, but it's Tatum. Half spin, a couple extra moves trying to get away from Turner on that side, and ridiculous finish there for Tatum from 16 as he spins and hits the fadeaway, 94-89, as it's Halliburton now. This will be picked up inside, knocked away. Good hands there for Brown as Neesmith tried to get a pass in, and now it's Brown. He spins. He needs help. It's Derek White trying to get a couple jump stops into the lane, and he finishes 94-91.
As Rick Carlisle was forced to use a timeout to slow down momentum, that's going towards Boston for Jason Tatum to hit that spin-a-rama jumper from mid-range. It feels like whenever we're watching Jason Tatum, it doesn't matter how many guys you send out on the field to try and stop him. It feels like watching Kevin Durant. It doesn't matter how many guys they're being sent out to guard him. He's almost unguardable.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Again, you can change the name, change the faces, but they have the same type of skill. Jason Tatum is elite offensively on that side, and he's showcasing everything. Because if you're trying to guard that, again, that's good defense on the other side with the hands up, not biting on any sort of spin, and that still goes down. You just got to move on to the next play and not get demoralized.
Yeah, you do not want to get demoralized, no matter how hard of defense that you play at your end. You try your best. You try to set out as many players as you can after someone, and it still isn't enough. It just tells you how amazing of a player they truly are.
Yeah, again, you're playing the best of the best, and again, this is heightened senses in a heightened tournament. But nonetheless, we've seen the showcase and the skill, and it's mattered. I want to just go ahead and profile this. Another shout out for the Arizona Coyotes. They got a 2-0 lead at Mullet Arena right now. It looks like Michael Kirkoni and Logan Cooley have the goals for the Coyotes.
Wow, we're witnessing a big time shock. Of course, we speak of the Coyotes and their arena situation. Well, the on-ice product may reinvigorate interest in the Coyotes with how they've been putting up. We don't know if they're going to make the playoffs because I was thinking they'll be a fringe playoff contender at the most, but they may be reinvigorating fan interest.
Alec, do we have to cover a Coyotes game?
You know, if they keep this up, hey, why not watch some more Logan Cooley and how he's been putting up dating back to his days at Minnesota?
Yeah. This team is seriously good, and if it's not for this year, Alec and I will tell you this, and we'll double down. If it's not for this year, Coyotes' future is really bright, and they're going to be dangerous.
You just got to get secure an arena deal.
Yeah.
Perhaps the fan interest reinvigorate can secure a new one over the desert if they want to get that up. They want to start that up with owner Alex Maruello right up front. And in the meantime, Penguins Flyers isn't overtime for the second straight night.
Let me know how that one goes. I'm following along a little bit of a taste of medicine here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They didn't like being down 8-1 and getting stomped on by the Stars. Well, now they're up 4-0 against Dallas. Anthony Cirelli gets his second, and Nikita Kucherov with his 16th from Sergachev and Stamkos. Big Cat stopped all 23 shots, and Jake Ottinger's had a rough night, 14 out of 18 for a 778 save percentage.
In the meantime, I just had to watch Alex Nedeljkovic bail out the Penguins several times on that sequence. There was several bad turnovers by the Penguins, but Nedeljkovic is single-handedly keeping the Penguins in this game.
We will keep you updated on that side. We're going to have a frantic finish on that end. We might have a frantic finish in this game. This one's still close. It is a lead for the Indiana Pacers, but it's right in the balance. Tyrese Halliburton. There's an opportunity for Mather, and he gets his face on Horford, miss it off the front of the rim. A good rebound attempt for Neesmith, but it's Drew Holiday racing on the timeline as we get a camera cut. Tatum puts his head down, extra pass, not a good one. And who will it stay with? I believe they're going to say it's Celtics ball.
Yeah, they've deflected off one Pacer. I didn't get a look at it, but by the look of what was seen, yeah, one deflected off a Pacer. Indeed.
So it's going to be Celtics ball. We might get some more lineup changes here as it's Derek White off the half spin, trying to back down Tyrese Halliburton. Shot clock down to 5. They give it to Tatum. Who else? We'll see if the Blue Devil can get it done. And this goes off the top of the rim. Horford with a rebound. It's Brown. He hits the 3. It's a tie game with 6 minutes left at 94.
You speak of a player's confidence to shoot the ball. Brown shot that through a double team. It's not like it was contested either. Those two guys were rushing at him to stop him.
Halliburton probing. Neesmith uses the glass off the floater. That's beautiful. Pacers now up by 2.
And that goes to show about the pace of the Pacers. We all know how fast they can be in answering the Celtics on every turn.
Chain of defense. It does feel like a playoff game. Alec and I mentioned it several times. Horford with the old man jam. Ties it at 96. He's still got a little bit of hops, even if it's rim grazer, as this is picked up now for Halliburton across the timeline. Tyrese puts his head down, drives the baseline. It's Neesmith, another floater, and he hits it yet again.
Of course, we speak of Neesmith and him picking up the former team that he's played for. He's been looking confident in his new team and adjusting a new role that Rick Carlisle has given him.
11 ties and 14 lead changes will make it 12. Jaylen Brown does not care who's in his face. Ties it up from 16 feet.
There's back and forth action, and then you have this with the Celtics matching every basket that the Pacers have brought them, no matter if it is Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, or Al Horford.
Tyrese Halliburton from another state misses that shot as this is sent around now for Tatum. Who gets to the 100-point marker first? Who hits the century mark? It's Tatum. Series of spins falls away. I think he's going to draw the foul, though. Besmirched to the crowd of Indianapolis. They can't believe it. That's a tough call there. 4:19 left. It's tied at 98.
If I'm Aaron Neesmith and I'm forced to see Jason Tatum spin around me several times and he shot that one up right up close, what am I to do to contest that? What else am I to do to prevent that from being called a foul? You do everything you do to try and block the shot, and it goes awry.
Yeah, Alec, I think you said it right. There's nothing that Neesmith did wrong there, and he gets called for a foul. That would be the one thing I would say against the NBA product that bothers me on that side, is it makes it really hard for stand-up defense to actually count for something. But as Rasheed Wallace will say, the ball don't lie. It's a missed free throw there, 99-98. It's a one-point lead for the Celtics. And now an opportunity to move this around. It's Neesmith trying to get his way through the traffic. It'll be a bump against Drew Holiday and picked up against the Celtics.
As we ruled, it's a personal foul and not a personal take. So personal take is more intentional, but it's a personal foul. He got stripped of the ball by illegal means, body contact.
4:07 left to go in the fourth. Triggerman sideline out of bounds now. Turner, Halliburton. He's stepping way back at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Logo lets it go. He hits the shot. It's a 2-point lead. The Pacers at the century mark. It's 101-99. What a game.
And what a circus shot by Alec as well. I mean, that was going crazy on the shot, and he knocked it down. Wow. He's having himself a night on a triple-double.
Brown's going to step back, miss up the front of the rim. Halliburton, 22, 10, and 10. He's got the trip dub. His team's up by 2, and he crosses the timeline now, just in time for the 16-second mark. Here's a pass. Shot for Bruce Brown off the front of the rim. It was wide open in rhythm. And we'll see what the call is going to be. Joe Mazzulla says, let's slow it down a little bit and take a timeout. 3:21 left to go in the fourth. The Pacers up 101-99. And he had Drew Holiday on an island all by himself, and he made him pay.
And Tyrese Halliburton has been going hot. It would only make sense that Joe Mazzulla would use a timeout and try and cool things off and perhaps get the fire extinguishers because he's been all over this court. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists on the night. If the Pacers were to hold on to get this upset victory, it'll live and die by Hallie.
Yes, it will. And again, I'll double down and say this. You can go ahead and call the timeout if you're Joe Mazzulla and say, let's game plan to stop Tyrese Halliburton. Well, go ahead and do that because you can't stop him right now. It's 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists on 9 of 17 shooting. So he's still shooting above 50% like he is throughout the season so far. Also has a steal as well. He has been absolutely ridiculous in this one. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the usual suspects, have about 49 combined in between the two with 25 and 24 respectively. Brown is 12 of 20 shooting with 9 rebounds, and Tatum has 24 with 12 rebounds and 6 assists as we get another look at Zion.
In the meantime, got an update from the Battle of Pennsylvania. It's deja vu. Well, I'm just smiling through the pain of the loss because Sean Couturier has the overtime winner for the Flyers. And I'll tell you, that's why I said smiling through the pain because even though I'm happy for Couturier, it hurts the Penguins here.
At least you get a pick a point up out of that one, Alec, but I know that. You want to win that in the blood rivalry. Jaylen Brown ties it up. He got a red carpet feed from Derek White. He's got 27 on 13 and 21. We're tied at 101. Here's an opportunity. Try to drive the lane and knock down the layup. That was some good work there for the Pacers and Buddy Hield. 103-101. What more is this game going to give us? Derek White, get the screen. Try to get down the lane off the jump stop. Tatum, White probably should have taken that wide open layup, but Tatum does draw the foul.
Those mirror images of one another will go between Jaylen Brown and Buddy Hield. Not exactly because both of them were from the paint, but one of them was a dunk from Jaylen Brown. One of the many highlight packages that he brings on the night. And he does so again here.
So Tatum, I think he's saying he got hit on the shoulder side off the release, and yeah, that was Miles Turner. Hit him pretty good. Nonetheless, he goes to the line to shoot two, makes the first, his next one, if he does make it, would tie the game at 103 with 2:21 thereabouts left to go in the fourth. 2:33 officially on my side, as the ESPN thing's a little ahead. But it's a tie game. And it's the Pacers at Gainbridge Fieldhouse trying to go to Las Vegas. They played a great game right now. Naismith trying to get to the contact. What a block by Brown!
Oh, that's a disrespectful dunk. Get that weak stuff out of here, he says. As you look at Austin Carr, color commentator of the Cavaliers, he would say that, of course, I had to bring that up because that was vicious.
And what a play off the inbounds as Naismith had to force his way for a two. He knocked it down. So Brown's defense was good, but the inbound gave Indianapolis a basket. 105-103. 2:05 left to go in the fourth. White needs a screen. He's like, oh, the ball. Going to give it to the go-to guy, Jason Tatum. Here's an opportunity. This shot is sticks and it's in. My goodness, from 19 feet. With a hand in his face, ties it at 105.
That's basically the Kevin Durant play style that Tatum is playing. No matter what you throw at him, no matter if it's tight coverage or wide open, he's just going to knock it down. That's what happened.
Halliburton dancing on Horford, Euro scoop. And he's going to draw a foul, I believe, on that side against Al Horford.
Yeah, it's a personal, not a shooting foul. He got smacked hard there by Al Horford or Derek White, pardon me, as you look back. But that's not a good foul if you're going to take. How is the last person you want to foul if you're the Celtics?
Halliburton triggers it to Brown, gets it back to Tyrese. Step back is at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse logo. Is pretty far back. Lets it go. Brown's in his face. He knocks it down.
The flamethrower we speak of him. Not only we speak of Jason Tatum as someone who can take over, let's bring up Tyrese Halliburton to this conversation. After he got his 11th assist, had Jaylen Brown on his face, and he knocked down the triple. That's how you get it done if you're Indy.
That's a 4-point play for Tyrese Halliburton as he's going to go to the line. An impossible shot. Completes the 4-point play, and the Pacers up by 4.
This man is so special here in Indiana. You move on from the Montes opponents and you get Halliburton like this, and he comes out looking like he's prime Chris Paul. Wow.
I can't believe it. Tatum for 3, right wing side. Too strong off the front of the rim. Contested. Pacers got it. They want to push. Halliburton, no look pass. As it goes to Hield, he's getting a little silly here. We're down to the final minute. Tyrese got the ball. It's against Brown. It's the best defender. Already gave up a 4-point play between his legs. Crossed the pass. And a good read there for Holiday, but I don't know if he stepped out of bounds as we get a stoppage with 56 seconds left to go in this game. Pacers up by 4. Looks like the shot clock's at 5.
Yeah, he did step out of bounds. And boy, when it looked like the Pacers were going to send out of bounds, well, Howie said, no, you're out of bounds. Chess, not checkers.
Naismith, oh my goodness, a big 3. 112-105, and the crowd is going insane. Celtics need an answer. This game has been bonkers. It gets turned over. Pacers got it now. Here's a chance. Naismith with a slam.
Start booking those tickets to the Sin City if you're the Pacers. Up by 9 in the final minute of action. That's when you realize you gotta start booking your tickets right now. Unless there's a miracle by the Celtics. If they do get said miracle, if there's anything going up for them, but I know Mazzola has to draw something up quickly with 44.4 in the fourth. Well, all we can say is let's just get whatever's left of the popcorn.
All I can say, Alec, is a universal thank you and an extended handshake for letting me take this fourth. Maybe we should switch and I'll take the first and third tomorrow and you close it out because I cannot believe what I'm seeing from the Indiana Pacers right now. This has been a damn exciting NBA basketball game. And this isn't just a regular game to me. This feels like playoff vibes. And the Pacers are really taking it to a excellent Boston Celtics team.
It really gave it their best, and they showed their best. The top of the key triple from Buddy Hield, and then the lob. Hallie to Naismith was the reverse jam. How beautiful is that for Hallie's 12th assist of the game? Perhaps can we see lucky number 13? We don't know. He doesn't need lucky number 13, but the Celtics need an answer quick.
This has been an entertaining game. We'll see what happens with 44.4 left. Holiday gets it off the inbounds. Brown's going to let it go quickly. This goes up the front of the rim. White trying to save it. And this is knocked away momentarily. Turned over. Tatum gets it now. He bullies his way to the limb and lays it in. But the Celtics down 7. They're running out of time. Derek White trying to foul. And he gets it with 28.6.
There was no other choice for the Celtics. They need to foul quickly here if they want to get right back. They only have one timeout, in which they're preserving right now with 28.6 ticks left. There's no other option here. Quick basket, and you need to get it up right and quickly. You're still down by 7 despite the Tatum layup.
Yes, you are, and you said it best there, Alec. No other choice, but you kind of wonder if it's too little too late. And for Aaron Neesmith, again, 13 on 6 of 10 and 1 of 3. He's been brilliant. Buddy Hield's been good. Neesmith does miss a free throw here, but it's still a 7-point lead with 28.6 left. Alec Nava, kind enough to make the space. We got the YouTube side as well on mine. John Ryan Otley mixing between the play-by-play and color. This game has been absolutely breathtaking, honestly, and I'm really not overselling it. If you missed this one, you missed a definite classic between these two. And I'm just wondering if there's any way for Rick Carlisle to bottle up whatever magic he's got for this team in the in-season tournament and put it into the regular season because the Indiana Pacers, they actually played a good defensive game at times when they needed to, and they got a 7-point lead.
Sometimes I wonder about, we speak of in-season tournament and comparing this in terms of the structure to the FIFA World Cup. That's how it is like. It feels like we're seeing an instant classic type of match. I'm not talking Argentina, France type, but somewhere along the lines of, say, Morocco Cinderella run.
It looks pretty Cinderella right now for the Indiana Pacers because the Boston Celtics are no slouch. Again, Indiana is going to move on to play either the Knicks or the Bucks in the semifinal round. And for the way Indiana's played, honestly, I give them a puncher's chance to go all the way to the final. If they can do this against Boston, they can certainly do it against Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or even if it is the Knicks. So Neesmith splits the pair. That's Tatum. He's got to rush this timeline quickly. He's done in 20 seconds. They're just going to let him jam it. And it's going to be 115-109. Looks like the C's are going to have to play the foul game. So maybe the ending of this game isn't exactly going to be as crazy as you would expect. It's Buddy Hield. He's pretty good at the line. He gets manhandled by Brown, but he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Man, Jaylen Brown with that bear hug in the end. It felt like it for Buddy Hield and the dunk by Jason Tatum. You'd imagine if this may be too little too late for the Celtics, and in all fairness, we could be asking ourselves that question because a free throw here would put the Celtics down by 3 possessions nonetheless. That's where they've been at for the end of this game. The Pacers, they have all but punched their ticket to Vegas.
Pacers do miss another free throw, and Buddy Hield uncharacteristically. 15 points, 6 to 10, 3 of 5, 2 rebounds. Talk about that bear hug. I'll use the segue. It kind of feels like Boston was fighting a bear. Again, I know the Bruins have that logo on that side, but they got scratched up pretty good by the Pacers here. Can they find a way? 109-116 is the scoreline. Turnover against Tatum, but are they calling a foul before that? It's going to be a kickball violation. This will stay with Boston.
Oh, I want to put up more FIFA World Cup references on this. Boy, we speak of that and I'm liking this to the in-season tournament. Boy, I may want to draw more of those up because we're getting that in 3 years.
Derek White, he will trigger it in. Jaylen Brown, got to go quick. Right wing three. Makes it a 4-point game with 12.2 left to go. Indiana did miss a couple free throws. You got to get this one in. As it's picked up and fouled, Brown will take it, and the Pacers will go to the line. Bruce Brown's got to hit both of these, Alec.
He has to if he wants to seal this one up. But bad news for Jaylen Brown because of his last intentional foul. He's been tossed from the game. That's the last foul he can take.
So that makes it even easier for Rick Carlisle's squad. As you're looking at Boomer, he's jumping around that double zero on the mascot. Well, there's already a couple double zeros. So I don't know if you can actually still use that number, but it's Bruce Brown at the line. He needs to make 2. And I'm saying this does make it easier for Rick Carlisle because you're defending one man and one man only, Alec. That's Jason Tatum.
That is basically your assignment. You shut down the best player on the other team.
So Bruce Brown makes the first. Again, he's had a nice night. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. And the Pacers trying to book it to Vegas. They're going to be playing either the Bucks or the Knicks. If they can hold on to it, Bruce Brown split up here. Really 3 of 6 at the line. Tatum lost the ball. He's got a foul. The Indiana Pacers are going to Vegas in the semifinal against the in-season tournament.
And we will see who they match up with tomorrow. Would it be Milwaukee or the Knicks? Another intentional foul. No other choice, but this may be the end of it for Boston. Right down the line. That foul may have clinched the Pacers' ticket to Vegas. Of course, they may need to start booking it up at Expedia right now.
Yes, they do. You got to get the best prices. Everybody's got to get to Vegas somehow. And as we get to the final here, Alec, I just want to throw this out there. I don't try to be a harsh critic about the score lines, but honestly, as far as the broadcast and you and I covering this, I think we did a good job. This game's been entertaining. This has honestly been a 9 out of 10 type game. Indiana gets the steal. Buddy Hield's going to give them no chances, and it's 119-112 unless they count that last shot. And it is 122-112, so insult to injury. Hield gets the steal. Pacers win by 10, and they stun the Celtics at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
This is the game that Rick Carlisle wanted to have his team play up to the fullest extent, to have them go all out on the offensive side, to play their style of basketball, to make the Celtics play their style of basketball as well. And to the Celtics' credit, they did play fast and mostly like the Pacers. Though this was a shock, considering the Pacers, they're one of the weaker teams defensively. However, that didn't seem to matter. When you have a bad defense, you need to make up for that with a great offense. And the Pacers more than did that against the best team in the East. They deserve this win, and full props to the team around them, Rick Carlisle and Tyrese Halliburton, who finished with a triple-double tonight.
Yeah, and you said it best. Again, you're talking about the great offense. They did use a little bit of defensive pressure in that third. That 37-23 win in the third quarter for the Pacers was more than enough. They had to get another 37 points in the fourth. They were on fire in the second half. The Celtics could not keep up, and as Alex said, being interviewed by Stephanie Rady was Tyrese Halliburton, who going into this game had an upper respiratory infection, but he said he's feeling good. And again, he must have his first career triple-double. Gotta believe much more coming. 26 on 10 of 18 shooting with 10 rebounds and 13 assists. That's about as good as it gets.
It doesn't get any much better for that, for your franchise point guard. A lucky number 13, well, as you noted out, well, I guess I had some foresight for the future on getting 13 assists
You did.
earlier in this quarter, the late stages, but it does count to seal out the Celtics. Hallie has had himself quite the night here, coming out the respiratory infection, and fought hard, fought through the battle, and shows how tough a warrior that he truly is with Indiana. Going to be drafted as a first-round pick with the Sacramento Kings. He was paired up with De'Aaron Fox at the backcourt. Well, things didn't work out in Sacramento. They make the trade for Domantas Sabonis, and it's been working out for both sides.
Yeah.
This game continues to prove that. And with how Sabonis is going to play against New Orleans tonight, we can see this once a win-win trade.
You know what would be funny, Alec? And we got a long way to get to there on Saturday, and it's not likely. But what I would love to see if we get to cover it on the Saturday side, as long as we're both around, I want to see Pacers and Kings in the final. Would that not be fun with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis?
Oh, there's a lot of lovely matchups that we can consider for the in-season tournament. Halliburton versus Sabonis in the final. Guess what? Make all the fireworks on the in-season tournament. Who needs defense when you have prolific offenses?
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun on that side. We still have a lot to get to as far as some of these games. But Alec and I will give you the nightcap tomorrow between the Suns and the Lakers. Can only hope it's going to be as entertaining as this one. But your final from the Gamebridge Fieldhouse, 122-112. Pacers win the game over the Celtics. This was a lot of fun, Alec. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it again tomorrow, John. See ya.
I'll see you.
Staying in the room at Joanna gave me a feeling of what it could actually look like to live there. It was my last night, and we wanted something fun. Joanna is a really good singer, but I am very good.
I know we didn't get a lot of people on the YouTube side of it in the space, but definitely I'll label it as it is. It was an instant classic. That was a fun game in the semifinal. And again, covering a lot of hockey games and then going into this and working with Alec for the week on that end, this is going to be a lot of fun. We might have saw the best game of the tournament right now, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So I'll see you for Lakers Suns, 10:15 Eastern. Peace, everybody.